This is the best in boxing on Fight Up TV, and welcome to Friday Night Fight Night, as we are live from the Salon Mezzanine in Tijuana, Mexico. As tonight we have a stacked card for you to watch, featuring some of boxing's up and coming prospects. Now, in our original main event, we were supposed to see the return of the undefeated super and flyweight prospect Duane Beeman, as he was going to face Gilbert Garcia as our original main event. Now, last week, Beeman was forced to withdraw from his fight due to corrective eye surgery, which opened the door to Domonique Dolton of Detroit, Michigan, to fill in as the main event. Now, Dalton is no stranger to the spotlight. He's been featured on FS1 and fights under the PBC banner, and he's coming into this fight off the second career loss that he's ever suffered as a professional, up against Jamonte Clark in November of last year. Now, I'm being joined with my broadcast partner, Chris Martin. And Chris, like I mentioned, he suffered his second career loss. Dalton did. He's coming into this fight. What feelings, what emotions are going in through a fighter knowing that they need to bounce back and get a good win here tonight?
Well, Marcos, the most important thing that Domonique Dalton needs to do tonight is win and get his confidence back. How does he do that? Coming into hostile territory against a determined Gilbert Garcia. He needs to block all that out of his mind, put together the work that he usually does, and get the victory tonight to get that ball rolling and get his confidence back.
Dalton, of course, is no stranger to fighting internationally. He's fought in the Dominican Republic, comes from the Crunk gym, so he has the pedigree. But this is the first time that he's fighting in Mexico. Does that weigh in to a fighter's mind, fighting in a place that you've never fought before?
Slightly, but tonight, Domonique Dalton is coming in as the promoter favorite. So yes, the crowd might be against him, but he's got everything else in his favor. He's got the experience, he's got the style, and he simply needs to put everything together tonight, to, like I said, to get his confidence back.
Yeah, he certainly needs to have a strong showing, but he doesn't have an easy task in front of him. Salvador Tapia is a fighter who is 7-1 and coming here to get the victory. Also on this card, we're going to see the return of Kevin Ramirez, Mario Ramirez, Rafael Ramirez. It's stacked with the Ramirez's on this card, Chris, as well as Brandon Cruz. But to go ahead and get the night started, let's go to the center of the ring and toss it up to our ring announcer, Pablo Flores, to get the fights underway.
Damas y caballeros, esta es la tercera llamada. ¡Comenzamos! Y en nombre de Boristeca Boxing Promotions, le damos la más cordial bienvenida a otra velada boxística desde el Salón Mezzanine, desde la frontera más visitada del mundo, Tijuana, Baja California, México. Este evento es sancionado por la Honorable Comisión de Box, Lucha Libre y Artes Marciales Mixtas de esta ciudad de Tijuana. Presidente Alberto Martínez. Comisionado de Boxeo Juan Manuel Cardona. Jefe de Servicios Médicos el doctor Ernesto Franco. Concertador de eventos Ángel Viedas. Al frente del tiempo César Fernández. Sus tres jueces Francisco Pacheco, Sergio Lechuga y Max Zúñiga Lavandera. Y el tercero en la superficie para medir las acciones, el experimentado Juan Morales Lee. Vámonos de nuevo. Ahora bien, damas y caballeros, prepárense para 4 rounds de combate en la división de peso super mosca. Let's get ready for 4 rounds of boxing in the super flyweight division. Introducing to your first fighter, standing in the blue corner, wearing the Mexican colors, green, white, and red. His official weight, 114.5 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, vistiendo los colores mexicanos, verde, blanco y rojo, con un peso de 114.5 libras. Cuenta con 4 combates profesionales. He stands with 4 professional bouts. Hailing, representando la bella Cenicienta del Pacífico, Ensenada, Baja California. ADRIEL OSUNA. And his opponent across the ring, standing in the red corner, wearing gray trunks with black and gold. His official weight, 114.5 pounds. y su rival en la esquina roja, vistiendo pantaloncillo color gris con negro y dorado, con un peso idéntico de 114.5 libras. Cuenta con un combate profesional. He stands with one professional bout. Hailing from Arizona, USA, here is BREENAN MACIAS. And here is with the final instructions, con las indicaciones finales, el experimentado Juan Morales Lee.
Saben las reglas, llévenlas a cabo, mucho cuidado con la cabeza, no atrás de la atrás de los riñones, abajo del cinturón, dense la mano, que gane, mejor suerte para los dos.
And hello, everybody. This is Marcos Villegas, being joined here with my broadcast partner, Chris Martin. And welcome to Friday Night Fight Night here on Fight Up TV. As the first fight of the night is about to get underway, we're going to see BREENAN MACIAS of Arizona going up against ADRIEL OSUNA in a 4-round tilt in the super flyweight division. And here we go, the action underway. Round number 1, MACIAS in the blue with black trim trunks going up against OSUNA in the white trunks with the colors of the Mexican flag. MACIAS in his second pro fight, looking to gain more experience. Comes from a boxing hotbed in Arizona. A lot of good fighters have come out of there in the past. Most notably, the Benavides brothers. As a good stiff jab is landed there by OSUNA, works the body. The two now are fighting in close distance. Not much of a feeling out round for OSUNA or MACIAS.
Well, Marcos, I saw that BREENAN MACIAS is very calm in there and relaxed. Maybe he didn't warm up. In the locker room, he looks a little dry to me. Actually, so does ADRIEL OSUNA. But they're coming out here and they're throwing leather right off the bat.
Big punches to the body now from OSUNA. As earlier, he landed a big right hand. Both tall fighters here.
Yeah, definitely for the super flyweight division.
And MACIAS, you look at him, he looks like a little kid, right? He has a little baby face. But so far, he's shown he does have the skills to box in there. Though a lot of the fight has been fight in close distance. Both fighters connect there on punches. MACIAS there missing with a jab. OSUNA fighting in his backyard practically from Ensenada, Baja California, which is about 30 minutes away from here. Not too far off, so he has a good amount of fans here in attendance at the Salon Mezzanine. See B-Fly there, target the body, connects. Though OSUNA quickly clinches and both fighters release from there. Good uppercut there from MACIAS.
And that's what MACIAS needs to do, Marcos, is he just simply needs to keep his distance. OSUNA seems to want to just come in and bum rush and throw punches, so keep your distance, MACIAS, and simply box him from the outside. Use that long frame of yours.
So we're coming down to the final 10 seconds of round number 1. Our opening matchup here at the Salon Mezzanine, Best in Boxing, on Fight Hub TV. MACIAS versus OSUNA, round 1 in the books. So we look at the corner now of MACIAS. So we get ready to see some action from that first round, Chris. What are we seeing over here?
Well, in this portion that we're watching here is more of a feel out kind of little. ADRIEL OSUNA trying to make it dirty, trying to bring the fight to MACIAS. But good counters right there by MACIAS, that right uppercut. That's what he needs to keep doing the rest of these 3 rounds. If it goes 3 more rounds, is simply that. Just be on his toes, box. don't exchange with Osuna. That's the style here in Mexico, here in Tijuana especially, is to just simply come forward and let him fly. Don't give him his preferred style. Give him different looks. Box him, jab him, uppercut him from as he's coming in.
So we begin round number 2. Osuna wanting to get work early in, both fighting on the inside. Late punch there from him though, so he gets a warning from the referee. Good jig to the body there by Macias. Follows it up with a 2-punch combination. Osuna though, firing right back. Both fighters very young in their careers. Chris, how important is it for a fighter when you don't know much of your opponent to go in there and feel him out and see what he has?
Well, normally that's what you want in the first round, is to simply feel him out. But these guys came in throwing leather right off the bat. I think now it's kind of settling down a little bit more, and they each got each other's timing. So only time will tell who's going to get the better of it.
Macias attempts to land a 1-2 combination, just falls short.
But that's what he needs to do, Marcos, is simply keep it on the outside, considering ADRIEL Osuna simply just wants to come forward and throw punches. So keep him on the outside, receive him with those uppercuts when he finally gets into the inside, like right there. Let it go.
Osuna so far, though, in the span of this round and the first round, has done some good work on the inside, but Macias seems to be the more polished of the two.
Definitely, he's the more technically sound fighter. He simply needs to use it. Keep doing it.
Good work on the inside by Macias. Osuna answering back. And Osuna seems to be fighting in that distance of Macias so far. Chris, is it something in the style of Macias that's causing him to come forward like that?
Macias is the one kind of sitting back. I don't know if you meant Osuna, the one coming forward.
Excuse me, that's exactly what I meant.
Well, to me, that's his only option, is to come forward and sling him and throw punches, because he doesn't look like the very experienced boxer. He looks more of a brawler type. So Brandon Macias needs to just keep him on the outside, box him, and try to land his shots from the outside. Doing a little bit of Roy Jones right there as we speak.
A little bit of showboating there from the young Brandon Macias. We come now to the closing moments of round number 2. Macias trying to turn around Osuna.
And maybe part of that was just he's starting to feel more confident, Marcos, putting his hands behind his back.
Round number 3 here at the Salon Mezzanine in Tijuana, Baja California, as we're seeing Brandon Macias take on ADRIEL Osuna. 2 rounds in the books. Competitive rounds, though Macias the crisper of the 2 fighters, landing the majority of the punches. Though majority of the fight has been fought in this distance right here, Chris.
Yeah, close quarters. Macias wants to fight from the outside. He needs to keep it on the outside. He's had an easier time right there with that right uppercut. And simply time Osuna as he's coming in with those uppercuts and those jabs. is going to make it a lot easier for him to win this fight.
Good uppercut there by Macias.
And that's that
So he
uppercut
tries
I'm
to follow
talking
it up
about
3 more
as he comes
times.
in.
Yeah, it's been a preferred punch for him. So he lands a right hand there.
Yeah, and he's starting to time it a little better now.
Macias perhaps sensing something inside the ring there against ADRIEL OSUNA. Starting to get a good rhythm now. So he lands a stiff jab there. 1-2 punch combination. Follows it up, but slightly misses, but lands with that uppercut as Osuna misses bad with the hook.
And Macias is starting to pour it on now, coming in strong.
Macias now coming forward, starting to pressure a lot more now than the previous 2 rounds.
And it seems like Osuna is tired. He's breathing out of his mouth, and his body language is not saying much either.
We still got a minute left in this round number 3. As Macias now seemingly having his way with Osuna. You would think at this point, to catch a breather, Osuna would want to hold, but he's exchanging with Macias.
Well, that's his style, Marcos, is to simply throw, and throw. And the majority of the style here in Tijuana is that. Throw punches, defense second, maybe even third.
They work hard for the money, Chris. They got to earn
Absolutely.
that. They got to earn that paper. So we come now to the final 10 seconds of round number 3. Brendan Macias pouring on the pressure against ADRIEL OSUNA. Over the course of these 3 rounds, I think that round number 3 was the clearest round that Macias had in the entire fight.
Yeah, he's definitely coming on strong, Marcos, doing what he's supposed to, using his boxing skill, considering ADRIEL OSUNA doesn't have much of it. Simply just grit, toughness. Most of the time, that's not enough to win a boxing match.
So we take a look now at some action from round number 3. Macias being held there by Osuna, who's digging hooks to the body. Though a lot of those punches were blocked. Macias showing good awareness of where he's at inside that clinch there. Putting that hand down to avoid getting clean shots to his body. As we begin round number 4, the final round of this scheduled 4-round fight.
And
Kicking
a good
off the
stiff
event
jab
here.
by Macias to open up the round.
As B-Fly continues to look fly so far in these past 3 rounds. 1-2 combination there, follows it up with a straight, but Osuna gets out of the way as he comes once more in the close distance, trying to get some work into the body of Macias.
And you know what, Marcos? Looking at Brendan Macias, if you told me he's Canelo's cousin, I would believe you.
Macias showing a little bit of that ginger flair. Can't knock it, though. The kid got skills. As Osuna lunged in there with the hook, and he paid the price and eats another punch right there.
And Brendan Macias keeps throwing that right uppercut. He needs to do it a little bit more, and maybe he can get Osuna out of there tonight.
Fatigue setting in for Osuna as he's lunging in with his punches.
Nice
Connects
body
right
shot.
there to the body, yeah. He's landing, but I think at this point, Macias, the better condition of the 2 fighters. Osuna lunging again. Needs to be careful. Macias almost caught him with that counter right.
That's Osuna's only chance, Marcos, is to simply just lunge forward, throw punches. Brennan Macias is countering him
Big
perfect
uppercut there
every
by
single
Macias.
time.
Follows it up with a punch to the body.
And there's that uppercut again.
Macias perhaps sensing that he could get a big knockout win here. He's been trying to time that uppercut the whole night.
Yeah, mainly because Osuna just lunges forward with his head dipped. And it's a perfect punch. Macias, I mean, that's some experience right there, is to know what punch to throw in those situations.
He hasn't landed that big one-punch knockout yet, but he sure is timing it. He sure is looking and targeting it for the chin of Osuna. Good combination there by B-Fly Brennan Macias. So coming down to the final 20 seconds of this last round here for this fight. Macias having an active round. Good volume of punches. Swing and a miss there.
Now, Marco, what Brennan Macias did, he worked very well. In my opinion, it would suit him to kind of hide that right uppercut that he threw so well in this fight. Osuna might have caught onto it a little bit. He could have maybe disguised it through a combination and then a hard right uppercut, or simply the jab and then the uppercut, but most of the time he just threw it as one punch.
Good showing for Brennan Macias of Arizona. Was the more technical and the more complete of the two fighters. It's obviously apparent as we await the judge's decision to see how they scored the fight. You never know with the judges, but I think it might be safe to say that Macias will probably get the nod in this fight as we take a look back at some highlights of the action here over the course of 4 rounds. You see there Osuna on the inside getting tagged with punches to the body, but he's able to land little punches in there as well. We see that uppercut that Macias tried to land throughout the fight. He did have success, but could never land that one punch that would stop the fight.
And it goes back to me saying that Macias needs to disguise it a little bit more, Marcos, instead of just simply throwing it with everything he's got, one punch at a time. Set him up. Throw combinations, finish with that right uppercut.
Damas y caballeros, después de 4 rounds de combate, nos vamos con las tarjetas de los jueces. After 4 rounds of boxing, we now go to the judges' scorecards. El juez, Judge Francisco Pacheco, scores it 39-37, 39-37. Y los jueces, Sergio Lechuga y Max Zúñiga La Bandera, coinciden en tarjetas 40-36. These two judges have the same scores of 40-36. For your winner by the way of unanimous decision, su ganador por la vía de la decisión unánime, Arizona, USA, BREENAN MACIAS.
For the second fight of the night, as the fighters are set to make their way over here to the ring, We will be keeping it for the lower weight classes as we have a super bantamweight attraction scheduled to happen next. As he's set to take on San Diego's own Gilbert Garcia. Sports record of 2-0.
Hot in here.
As we're still awaiting the entrance of Gilbert Garcia. Oh, here he is. See him coming onto the stage right now. Made you guys wait. Made you guys wait for it. But here he is. Gilbert Garcia.
And he's definitely making an entrance, Marco.
He definitely is. Channeling his inner great Muta for you pro wrestling fans. The one and only Hall of Famer KJ Muto will come in similar fashion with head garb. I'm a fan of it. I'm all about it. I like those type of entrances.
You lost me on that, bro. I'm only 30 years old, and I don't know.
That was for all you pro wrestling nerds out there listening. As Garcia entering the ring, acknowledging those here in attendance, is ready to get the fight started. Let's go ahead and take it up to our ring announcer, Pablo Flores, to introduce the two fighters.
Damas y caballeros, Boristeca Boxing Promotions y PIB, the best in boxing, presenta este encuentro pactado a 4 rounds en la división de peso Super Gallo. Let's get ready for 4 rounds of boxing in the Super Bantamweight division. Your 3 judges scoring this bout in ringside. Sus 3 jueces: Sergio Lechuga, Francisco Pacheco y Max Zúñiga Lavandera. And when the bell rings, el tercero en la superficie, el experimentado Juan Morales Lee. Introducing the fighter standing in the blue corner, wearing blue trunks with gold trim. His official weight, 123.5 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, vistiendo pantaloncillo color azul con oro, con un peso de 123.5 libras. Cuenta con 7 combates profesionales. He stands with 7 professional bouts. De la bella Cenicienta del Pacífico, Ensenada, Baja California, José Hernandez. And his opponent across the ring is standing in the red corner, wearing black with gold and silver. His official weight, 124.5 pounds. Y su rival en la esquina roja, vistiendo pantaloncillo negro con oro y plata, con un peso idéntico de 124.5 libras. Holding a professional record of 2 wins with no losses. Cuenta con un récord profesional de 2 victorias sin conocer la derrota. Representing San Diego, California, USA. Here is the Siberian Lynx, Gilbert Garcia. And here is with the final instructions, con las indicaciones finales, Juan Morales Lee.
La foto ahí. Aquí conmigo. Conmigo aquí. Cuidado con la cabeza, no golpes al cerebro, a los riñones, abajo del cielo. Dense la mano y que ganen mejor. Suerte para los dos.
Here we go, 4 rounds in the super bantamweight division. Gilbert Garcia in the black trunks with white trim, going up against Jose Hernandez of Ensenada, Baja California, in the blue shorts with gold trim. And yes, you are seeing that correctly. Gilbert Garcia is wearing Chucks in there, making a fashion statement in there. I think it's the first fighter I've ever seen fighting Chucks.
He's got the confidence for sure, Garcia does.
Garcia, the southpaw, moving in forward with his jab. Feeling out round right here. This is Garcia. Gauging the distance. Landing a good series of punches there, but Hernandez responding.
Kind of a wild left hook, but it slightly landed.
Mixing in his punches to the head and body is Garcia. Hook there. Garcia continues to press forward, lands an uppercut. Good little straight there. Not much offense from Hernandez as he eats an uppercut there.
When he does, Marcos, he wings them just like that.
He just winged that shot right there. Overhand misses as Garcia continues his pressure, working the body, varying his attack, body head. Continues to walk his man down, Hernandez, as he eats another right hand there.
Nice body shot by Garcia right there. Right hand to the body.
Yeah, it's a good variation to his attack. He's mixing it in. As he digs to the body, lands an uppercut there.
Another good body shot.
Hernandez back up against the ropes. Garcia now. 2 straight that land. Hernandez is not answered back. And he finally does as he wings a hook there. It's coming forward, being forced to fight.
Yeah, he's just getting outclassed on Marcos.
Garcia pouring on the offense here. And we'll see if Hernandez can get out of this first round, and he does. As Garcia just seemingly had his way with Hernandez in that first round. Hernandez not doing much, seemingly overmatched here. You got to think, when you're overmatched like that, it's up to the corner to make a decision if their fighter can even make it past the second round or even has anything to be able to change the course of the fight.
Well, Marcos, from what I saw in the first round, it doesn't look like it might go past 2, so I definitely would commend Jose Hernandez if he does make it past 2.
So we take a look back at the action from round number 1. You see Garcia landing with the hook, moving forward, lands another straight as he has Hernandez up against the ropes. And we'll see if he can get his man out of there in this second round.
And there was no thudding shots, Marcos, but they're constant, they're straight, hard punches. Quite a few body punches as well in that first round. So, like you said, we'll see if Jose Hernandez can make it out of this round.
Gilbert Garcia gauging his distance with that jab, setting it up with the straight. He lands right there, follows it up 2 punches of the body. Short little hook.
And he keeps touching him, Marcos. That as I mentioned, he's just touching, top, bottom. And Jose Hernandez is a little bit overwhelmed here.
So Hernandez finally answers back. Though every time Hernandez does throw a punch, he gets pelted by 2 or 3 punches right back from Garcia. Swing and a miss from Hernandez. Garcia being real patient in there. Just getting good work in.
Yeah, that's what we can call that. Just good work.
Sneaky little uppercut there from him. Straight right there, lands right on the kisser.
And a nice body shot right up the middle by Garcia. I got to give it up to Hernandez. He's trying, man. He's trying.
Thudding shots to the body there from Garcia. He follows it up with the 4-punch combination right there. Hernandez blocking some of these shots. Some of them he is getting hit to.
Yeah, but every time Garcia lands to the body, you can see the grimace on Jose Hernandez's face. And
yeah,
he's having
not
a
sure
hard time.
how much longer he's going to be able to last if he's eating those punches to the body like that, because he doesn't look like he's too conditioned in the abdominal area.
Yeah, he definitely didn't do his sit-ups, Marcos.
I don't know, he could be someone like a Roy Nelson, though, you know? Could have a lot of cushioning under there. It's a big if, though.
Maybe if Hernandez had the option to lay on him, but he doesn't. There's another nice body shot by Garcia.
A straight there. Garcia just in total control of this fight right from the very beginning.
Nice uppercut by Garcia.
And Hernandez landed a winging punch there. It's probably the best punch that he threw, but even with that, there wasn't much in that punch.
Much of a reaction from Garcia
No,
either.
not at all.
And the truth, Marcos, I give Jose Hernandez some props. You know, he's hanging tough. He's still throwing punches, as we saw the last 10 seconds. Landed a little wild hook, you know, even though Garcia brushed it off. But he's giving it his all, to say the least.
The corner of Garcia is giving him instructions and total control for the last 2 rounds. He's been, as we'll see if Garcia could end it with an emphatic stoppage here.
Garcia has to simply pick up the pace. If he picks up the pace, lands a few combinations, the ref has no choice but to stop it. But right now, he keeps throwing the same speed at him, just peppering him with shots.
He ate a big right hand right there. Hernandez maybe with a second win, finally coming out and throwing.
Might be the final win.
As Garcia now picking up his offense, answering back for Hernandez, who is throwing. So there's just a difference in power, as you can hear from ringside, between the two fighters.
That and technical abilities. I mean, Garcia's just throwing his punches right down the pipe, landing his hooks. As he throws his hooks, he covers with the other side, and definitely can't say the same for Jose Hernandez.
Hernandez eats a big right hand there. Referee Juan Morales Lee taking a close look at Hernandez. Hernandez answering back there.
Yeah, he's throwing back, Marcos.
Throwing back, but the thing is, he's getting hit every time. He needs to keep those hands up. Double uppercuts there. Seems Garcia's not too worried with the punches that Hernandez is throwing.
No, definitely not. There's not too much.
Very well, yeah.
Not too much mustard on those
No, there's not.
winging hooks by Hernandez. But like I said earlier, Garcia simply needs to pick up the pace, and he could force the ref to stop this fight because he's landing a lot of shots.
A lot of shots to the body as well. Hernandez, though, still in the fight, but he is taking a lot of punishment here. 1-2s, straights, punches to the body.
There you go. Keep throwing to the body, and the head will fall. There you go.
Durable, though, is Hernandez.
Once again, Marcos, I have to say I give it up to him, and I commend him on his toughness because he's taking a lot of shots, and he keeps throwing. He keeps winging those shots, keeping himself in the fight.
We come down to the last 10 seconds. It's round number 3. Gilbert Garcia in complete control of this fight. Take a look here at some action from round number 3. Garcia landing a big straight there, following it up with another one. The Hernandez you're seeing answering back, but not much mustard in those punches.
Yeah, definitely not, Marcos. And like
Co-management presenta el round número 4, el último round. Ladies and gentlemen, this is round number 4, your final round.
Here we go, the last and final round in this super bantamweight tilt. Gilbert Garcia taking on Jose Hernandez. Garcia moving forward.
Yeah, and Marcos, if Garcia wants to get his second knockout of his professional career, he needs to turn up the heat a little bit, so to speak. He needs to throw the combinations that he's throwing, but he needs to change the speed a little bit because it's kind of like a little monotone pace that he's throwing. You know, it's just touch, 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 and he keeps touching them. So Hernandez is kind of timing that. He's expecting those shots to land. He needs to hit him with something that he doesn't see. Kind of like that last hook right there.
Well, you can akin this fight to the process of softening up meat when you're cooking steak, because that's what Garcia has been doing this whole fight, just tenderizing the body and the face.
Yeah, that's
of
the word I'd
Hernandez
use. He's definitely
over
tenderizing him.
over the course of 4 rounds here. So he continues that body attack. It stops Hernandez momentarily there in the middle of the ring.
And there he goes. See, you see when he turns up the heat a little bit, Garcia does, Hernandez has no answer.
No quitting Hernandez, though. Though he is eating punches. May have been stunned there as Garcia may have his opponent in serious danger of being stopped here. He needs to be careful. He can't let those hands go down because one punch can change everything. Punches to the body, though. Some of them may have been a little bit low there.
Constant pressure by Garcia.
Just continuing this assault to the body. Hernandez is completely exhausted. Referee Juan Morales Lee leaning in there, giving Hernandez a close look. About 30 seconds left in this round number 4.
Completely exhausted.
As Garcia may have a stoppage victory in grasp. Big straight there. Hernandez looks like he may fall. Garcia continuing to work. What a chin on Hernandez. Just
determination as well, yeah.
And Hernandez makes it out of that round.
After we didn't think he was going to make it out of the first round.
He looked hurt. He looked hurt in that last round, completely exhausted. But he's able to make it. But to be blunt, Gilbert Garcia completely dominating Hernandez over the course of those 4 rounds. As we take a look at the last 10 seconds of the final round, see Garcia continuing his offensive assault, digs to the body right there, follows it up with the straight. Hernandez answering back, misses that punch, but he eats another one there. And that could be a theme of this fight. Hernandez eating a lot of punches, but you got to give him credit. Hell of a heart that he has in there for even stepping in there and taking the beating that he did as he's walking around the ring right now with his hands raised. Surely a moral victory for him to be able to say that he stepped in there and took the best of Gilbert Garcia.
Damas y caballeros, después de 4 rounds de combate, nos vamos con la decisión de los jueces. After 4 rounds of boxing, we now go to the judges' scorecards. Los 3 jueces, all 3 judges, Francisco Pacheco, Sergio Lechuga y Max Zúñiga La Bandera, coinciden en tarjetas de 40 a 36. They have scored the same of 40 to 36. For your winner by the way of unanimous decision, su ganador por la vía de la decisión unánime, the Siberian Lynx, Gilbert Garcia.
Jose Hernandez here tonight in Tijuana as Gilbert Garcia of San Diego improves his record to 3-0 by just overwhelming Jose Hernandez, winning all 4 rounds on the judges' scorecards as he gets another victory in his young pro career. And he did it all in chucks and converses. That's a first. I've never seen a fighter fight a complete fight in chucks and converses. Style points to that man.
You know, a buddy of mine used to do that back in the amateurs, and I believe he did it in the pros as well. Chris El Toro Negro Chapman, he fought in chucks plenty of times. So for me, that wasn't the first. Definitely was the first for you, but you know, props out to Chris Chapman out there for being the first fighter that I ever saw wearing chucks.
He's the trendsetter. He started the trend.
Might have started the trend.
Well, we'll see if other fighters, excuse me, guys, follow in those footsteps. Sporting the chucks. As we're now going to head to our third fight of the night, we're going to see action in the featherweight division. As we see that man right there, Victor Barraza, making his way to the ring. As he has a tough challenge in front of him as he takes on Brandon Cruz of Chula Vista, California, who's about to make his way to the ring right now. Barraza sporting a record of 0-9, and sometimes some of these records can be deceiving. These fights and fighters are a lot tougher than what their records suggest. So we'll see what kind of fight the young Brandon Cruz will have in front of him against a guy who's had 6 more fights more than him, as Brandon Cruz now making his way to the stage.
Yeah, Marcos, you never know what you're going to get. I mean, 9 fights, 9 losses, but that's 9 professional boxing fights. That's experience.
Damas y caballeros, Boristeca Boxing Promotions y BIB, The Best in Boxing, presenta este encuentro pactado a 4 rounds en la división de peso Super Pluma. 4 rounds of boxing in the Super Featherweight Division. Your 3 judges scoring. Sus 3 jueces son Sergio Lechuga, Francisco Pacheco y Max Zúñiga Lavandera. And when the bell rings, your third man, el tercero en la superficie, el experimentado Juan Morales Lee. Introducing the fighter standing in the blue corner, wearing silver trunks and pink trim. His official weight 130 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, vistiendo pantaloncillo plata con rosa, con un peso de 130 libras. Presenta 9 combates profesionales. He stands with 9 professional bouts. De San Luis, Río Colorado, Sonora, Víctor Barraza. And his opponent across the ring is standing in the red corner, wearing black and silver. His official weight, 129 pounds. Y su rival en la esquina roja, vistiendo pantaloncillo negro con plata, con un peso de 129 libras. He stands with a record of 3 victories against no losses. Presenta un récord de 3 victorias por 0 derrotas. Representing Skyline, California, USA. Too Smooth, Brandon Cruz. And here is with the final instructions, con las indicaciones finales, Juan Morales.
Con el cerebro, atrás de los riñones, abajo del cinturón. No golpes de revés ni con el hombro. Dense la mano que acá fue mejor. Suerte para los dos.
And here we go, round number 1 in this 4-round fight in the featherweight division. Brandon Too Smooth Cruz, 3-0 in the black trunks with white trim, going up against Victor Barranza in the silver trunks with purple trim. Barranza
with some confidence with his hands
yeah,
down.
He's winging those punches. As Cruz coming forward with that jab, being patient and compact.
And like I said, Marcos, 9 professional fights is 9 professional fights. You're seeing it here with Victor Barraza. The way he's coming out, he's having that confidence, hands down right off the bat.
Very unorthodox rhythm as well Barranza has. As Torres attempts to land punches there, but Barranza missing.
That's Brandon Cruz.
Cruz, excuse me. Cruz there lands a jab, momentarily moves Barranza back.
And we've seen Brandon Cruz a few times here at the Salon Mezzanine, and the style that Barraza is sporting is actually the style that Brandon Cruz usually does. So he's kind of mirrored here by this guy.
Just noticing the reach of Barranza is really long.
Yeah, but Brandon Cruz is having, what I was going to say is he's having to switch his style. He's the one that has to come forward and throw punches. Normally, that's what guys do to him.
Good combination
Good
there.
body shot. Good left hook to the body right there, Marcos.
Barranza may be in trouble, and he goes down. Barranza making the count here. Let's see if Cruz jumps all over him. Cruz coming forward, needs to be careful to not catch punches as he catches a hook. Barranza down again, but the referee, Juan Morales Lee, rules it as a slip.
No, he's
No,
counting.
he's giving him a count. It looked from our vantage point that it was a slip, but it is counted as a knockdown. Second knockdown of the round here. Brandon Cruz knocks down Barranza once more. It's all over. Brandon Cruz, left hook knockout.
And that definitely was a highlight reel knockout, and maybe that second knockdown was a legitimate knockdown. Maybe we can see it in the replay.
You could just see it in Barranza's face as well when that hook landed. He just gave this look like, man, what just hit me?
You know, and I can tell you from experience, Brandon Cruz being one of my gym mates, the kid hits hard. I mean, for this weight class, you know, he's tall, he's lengthy, he hits hard, and tonight he definitely put it together, man. He had to walk forward on Barraza.
So we take a look at the knockout right here. Cruz lunging with the hook. Barranza goes down. Looks at his corner, and that's it. The moment the referee has to help you up, it's call it a night, that's it. As Brandon Cruz scores an impressive first-round knockout win over Victor Barranza, improving his record now to 4-0. Kid got potential, and he got power. You know what? His nickname is Too Smooth. He showed he's a smooth operator in there as well.
And that.
So let's go ahead and take it up to our ring announcer, Pablo Flores, to make this decision official.
Damas y caballeros, este combate concluye con un tiempo de 2 minutos 32 segundos en el primer asalto. We have the official time of 2 minutes and 32 seconds in the round number 1. Declaring your winner by the way of KO victory. Su ganador por la vía del knockout. Puro Skyline, California, USA. Brandon Too Smooth Cruz.
As we now move on to the fourth fight of the night, this is Marcos Villegas, welcoming you that are just tuning in or have been watching over here on Fight Hub. Go ahead and give us a follow via social media as well, at Fight Hub TV, on Twitter and Instagram. Go ahead and give me a follow as well at Hey It's Marcos V. And you know what? Give my broadcast partner, Chris Martin, a follow as well. You'll be delighted with the content that he posts on his social media at SD
Kid Chris Martin.
There you go.
On my Instagram and SD Kid CM on Twitter.
As we now see Alejandro Alonzo make his way from the ramp towards the ring. A veteran fighter, having close to 40 professional fights in his career. From right here in Tijuana, Mexico. This fight in the welterweight division. Going for 6 rounds now.
Getting pretty romantic.
I know, they're cueing in the baby making music. Switched up though.
There we go.
For the music of one Rafael Ramirez, who's making his way to the stage right now, sporting a record of 19-4-2. There we see Ramirez. As Ramirez getting set now for the 26th fight of his pro career. That man right there, Alejandro Alonzo, wanting to derail that plan, wanting to add another win.
Damas y caballeros, Boristeca Boxing Promotions y BIB, The Best in Boxing, presenta este encuentro pactado a 6 rounds en la división de peso welter. 6 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Your 3 judges scoring. Sus 3 jueces: Francisco Pacheco, Sergio Lechuga y Max Zúñiga la bandera. And your third man at the bell, el tercero a superficie, el profesor Fernando Rentería. Introducing the fighter standing in the blue corner, wearing black trunks with red. His official weight, 157.5 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, vistiendo pantaloncillo negro con rojo, con un peso de 157.5 libras. Cuenta con 39 combates profesionales. He stands with 39 professional bouts. De Tijuana, Baja California, Alejandro Alonzo. And his opponent across the ring, standing in the red corner, wearing black and gold. His official weight, 158.5 pounds. Y su rival en la esquina roja, vistiendo pantaloncillo negro con oro, con un peso de 158.5 libras. In his professional campaign, he stands with a record of 19 victories, including 4 losses, 2 draws, and 10 of those victories coming by the fast way of knockout. Presenta un récord de 19 victorias, 4 derrotas, 2 empates y 10 de esas victorias por la vía del knockout. Representing San Diego, California, USA, el Rafa, Rafael Ramírez. And here is with the final instructions, con las indicaciones finales, el profesor Fernando Rentería.
Ok, listos. Rafa, atentos a las indicaciones. No cabezazos, no golpes en la nuca, no golpes en la espalda ni debajo del cinturón. Atentos a mis indicaciones. Sales. Suerte, choquen los guantes, gane el mejor.
And here we go, 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Rafael Ramirez in the black trunks, going up against Alejandro Alonzo, the black trunks with red trim. Ramirez is no stranger to those of you who have been watching the Best in Boxing series. Has fought in the card once more before. Looks in phenomenal shape compared to that last fight. He's been taking his training seriously.
Not to mention those sweet shorts he's wearing, Marcos.
Hey, it is summer.
We're still in spring, but I get where you're going.
Gotta show off the merchandise, you know, for them lady fans. So Alonzo lunges in with 2-punch combination. Ramirez moving out of the distance. Throwing that jab, following it up again. Lands the jab right there.
And that's the style of Rafael Ramirez, that boxing, that good school of boxing, man. You're not gonna hit him with any one clean shot like Alejandro Alonzo is trying to throw right now. So he needs to pick up his pace, because Rafael Ramirez could do this all night. Just keep jabbing, keep moving, keep popping those hard shots. Pop, pop, right there.
So he lands a 3-punch combination there. Alonzo staying patient. Great jab, though, from Ramirez. Finds its mark there just moments ago.
Yeah, Marcos, like I said, though, in order to beat Ramirez, you need to be more active with your shots. You know, you're not going to land one shot. You got to throw them in combinations.
Alonzo, it seems, trying to time the jab of Ramirez, seeing if he can land a counter punch, though he's swinging wildly right there as he backs Ramirez momentarily to the corner. Stiff jab there from Ramirez. Lands with that jab. The jab is the biggest weapon for Ramirez's arsenal as he sets up the straight just moments ago. He's extremely active with it.
Yeah, Marcos, like I said before, earlier when this round started, that's what you're going to see from Rafael Ramirez. It's just that school of boxing, which is what you learn first. The first day you go into the gym is that jab. He's going to keep popping that jab all night.
So coming to the end of round number 1. Filling out round for both fighters, as Ramirez was the busier of the two. He's getting corner instructions now. Did you like what you saw in that first round from Ramirez, Chris?
Yeah, because you said his activity level was up. Is something that we criticized in his last bout. Considering he didn't throw many punches, he was very defensive. He came out and he threw combinations, landed that stiff jab every single time. He's definitely picking it up from the last fight, and after warming up in that first round, see if he picks it up here in the second round.
as round number 2 is underway. We'll see if Alonzo has anything in his arsenal to counter not only the jab, but he lands a 3-punch combination there. He has anything to answer the jab of Ramirez. So he looks real composed in there. Good uppercut snuck in there by Ramirez. Digs to the body there.
Nice body shot.
He follows it up with 2-punch combination. Alonzo answering back.
And to touch on that, Marcos, I mean, you see it. He definitely bringing up his punch count from the last time.
He pops another jab to the face of Alonzo.
Yeah, Alonzo's a veteran, though, man. He's going to take those shots all night. Keep coming.
And coming he is. As he's starting to up the ante a little bit with volume. Ramirez staying calm in there.
Yeah, Alonzo threw more punches in that combination than he did in the first round.
Alonzo, veteran of the sport.
Nice body shot again.
Being patient, picking his shots, staying composed, not going away from his game plan. So he continues to box and move.
And you see the focus in Ramirez's eyes.
Such an active jab from Ramirez. He's able to keep Alonzo at bay when he is throwing it, making him think twice about moving in.
Yeah, man, it's a very schooled jab, stiff jab, and there's that left hook to the body again.
Alonzo just looking for that small opening. Ramirez smartly moving out of the way of that little flurry moments ago. Lunging there with his punches. Alonzo just trying to find something to get his offense going.
And that's the thing, Ramirez is so elusive that Alonzo is hesitating to throw because of that, man. He every time he throws, he misses.
So we come now to the end of round number 2. Another solid round for Rafael Ramirez, who's at this point made use of his jab and perhaps gotten the nod of the judges for that second round.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we see our lovely Boristeca ring girl signaling the beginning of round number 3.
But that's enough to take her off the screen, and here are the fighters once again.
Right when you said that, look what happens.
And you're welcome.
That's for all you guys watching at home. We're listening and reading your comments as we are live here on Fight Up TV at the Salon Mezzanine, broadcasting from one of the hotbeds of boxing in the entire world, Tijuana, Mexico. As Rafael Ramirez and Alejandro Alonzo have boxed 2 rounds now as we begin round number 3. Alonzo, befuddled by the box and move style of Ramirez, attempting to get some sort of offense going in this fight. Ramirez, being extremely elusive, will pop the jab and will move out. So we see him pop the jab right there. Alonzo now doing a little bit of moving himself, but he eats a jab.
And I know a few of you noticed already the fact that Rafael Ramirez has TMT on the back of his head. And fun fact here, Rafael Ramirez used to be a sparring partner for Floyd Mayweather back in the day.
Though this fight is a scheduled 6-round welterweight attraction, though looking at the size of Ramirez, the size of his legs really, big for the division, big welterweight.
A good ass punch by
excuse
Alonzo.
me, folks, got a bit of wrong information here. This is not a welterweight fight. Both Ramirez and Alonzo weighed in at 158 and 157 respectively. I was gonna say, this guy is way too big for a welterweight. These are middleweights in the ring, folks. Ramirez pot-shotting. Ramirez putting in work in the gym. Actually weighed more for this fight than his previous fight, moving up 3 pounds. Though a big difference in his body. He looks more in shape and more ready physically in this fight compared to the last fight, the last outing that he had over here. So he's continuing to work behind that jab. Fouls it up to a hook to the body. Alonzo slowing down a bit in terms of offense.
It's like I said before, Marcos, the fact that every time he throws, he hits wind. So it's kind of frustrating, and it'll definitely make you hold your punches a little bit more.
Alonzo's jab looks like it's gotten a lot better from his last fight. Sharp and compact. He's landing just about every time he throws it. So he lunges there with the body shot, lands, finds its mark. So we come to the end of round number 3. Ramirez in control of this fight so far, showing big improvements compared to the last outing that he had over here.
Yeah, definitely. Marcos has the right opponent as well. Alejandro Alonzo, you know, not an elusive target, is coming forward on him. And just the style that Rafael Ramirez needs to shine. He needs somebody to come at him, throw punches, and you're going to see the tactician in Ramirez. He's gonna slip, he's gonna dodge, he's gonna counter, and mainly just pop that jab like he's been doing first couple rounds.
We now begin round number 4. Ramirez continuing to work behind his jab. He's been finding success with it the whole night against Alonzo. Alonzo not finding any answer whatsoever, not able to counter behind it or put any sort of offense. Alonzo, a veteran in the ring, close to 40 fights. So in terms of experience, is more experienced than Ramirez, strictly on paper. But like you mentioned, Chris, Rafael getting indispensable knowledge being a former sparring partner of Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Yeah, you could see it in the style that he has, you know, very defensive-minded, you know, pop shots you, makes you miss, makes you pay.
See, switches to southpaw for a brief moment there. Kind of mix it up a bit, confuse the opponent.
Yeah, I think he just feels comfortable in there with what he's doing.
Yeah, he looks comfortable in there in general. He's having his way with Alonzo. Alonzo landed a punch to the body there.
Ooh.
Eats a hook, though.
That was a pretty solid hook there. Hey.
Three-punch combination there from Ramirez. Ramirez now in his groove. He's feeling confident. got his rhythm down.
And a good body shot right there landed by Alonzo.
So he digs to the body there. Alonzo finally landing a series of 2 punches there, hooks. Ramirez acknowledging the work that Alonzo did, gives him a nod.
That's what Alonzo has to do if he wants any chance in this fight. He has to throw combinations. He can't throw one shot. It's going to get parried. It's going to get swayed from Ramirez very easily.
Ramirez now is walking him down. 2 big misses there from Alonzo. Like you mentioned, Ramirez, very elusive targets. Very hard to get a clean punch on him.
Yeah, even as he's walking forward, too.
Two-punch combination of the body there from Ramirez as he follows it up with the straight right hand. Alonzo now trying to make it a street fight, but he can't find his target as we come to the end of round number 4. We now take a look at the action from round number 4. Ramirez with the straight. Alonzo tries to come in, bully his way to try to land some punches, and we see the elusiveness on display of Ramirez, moving his head very well.
But the problem there is, Marcos, is that Alonzo is only throwing 1 punch at a time. If he wants to win this fight, he's got to put his punches together. You got to throw combinations. You're not going to hit Ramirez with 1 shot.
We now begin round number 5. Rafael Ramirez with his boxing, with his stick and move style in control of this fight. Getting rounds in against Alejandro Alonzo, who has yet to find a rhythm or success with his offense. He's trying in there, but he gets befuddled by the jab of Ramirez, who's been very accurate with it and has been popping it out throughout this fight. So he sticks it there to the chest of Alonzo. See if he works something behind it. Alonzo missing with those 2 hooks. Ramirez once again working off the jab.
Yeah, just dictating the pace with that jab.
Just controlling him. See a 2-punch combination there from Ramirez. He follows it up with the jab. Straight right there. And if there's young and up-and-coming fighters that are watching this, good example of what the jab can do to an opponent. And Ramirez showing that with a good jab, you can not only befuddle an opponent, but work combinations off it as well, Chris.
Yeah, just control him like he's been doing this whole fight with just that. Jab and movement, jab and movement. I mean, Ramirez gets his shots off when he wants to, but it's just when he wants to. And they're a little bit far and few between, but for the most part, he's doing excellent work. And typically his style, man, is just popping that jab, being elusive in there.
Four-punch combination there from Ramirez. Follows it up with a straight right hand. And right back on the jab. Shots to the body. Alonzo responding, but he's going to have to do a lot more than that if he wants to start winning these rounds from Ramirez.
A little bit too late, Marcos. I mean, he definitely needs a knockout if he wants to win this fight. You know, he's getting controlled and outclassed the whole fight.
So we come to the end, round number 5. Ramirez with a combination there, landed flush and caused the sweat off of Alonzo to hit Chris right over here ringside.
Right in
Este
the cheek.
round es patrocinado por Mijo Management. BIB, the best in boxing. Damas y caballeros, este es el round número 6, el último round. Ladies and gentlemen, this is round number 6, your final round.
This is the 6th and final round here of the fight that we are watching right here on Fight Hub. Rafael Ramirez, Alejandro Alonzo. As Ramirez has been in control of this fight, dictated by his jab.
And it seems Marcos like he's going in there for the kill, man. He's coming in forward with his head down, winging shots.
That's a 2-punch combination right there.
Trying to get his opponent out of there.
Ramirez looking for an umph, an exclamation point to end this, it seems, as Alonzo clinching, using that experience that comes from having almost 40 professional fights.
And that's commendable because, I mean, he has the fight won. He could just cruise it if he wants to, but he's trying to put a oomph to this show right here.
Ramirez wanting to fight on bigger cards, bigger stages, certainly needs an oomph here to get that going. Though what he does have going is his offense as he lands a good overhand there. Keeps popping that jab and working behind it. As the corner of Ramirez implying him to keep working and to place shots to the body. Stiff, sharp jab there from Ramirez. 4-punch combination there, ends it to the body. Alonzo taking it well, though no response from him. Ramirez continues it up with the straight right hand, walking his man down. And Alonzo smartly clinching, coming forward, getting a break as he eats another punch right there, though.
Yeah, I think Ramirez gave him a little bit too much time after he hit him with that left hook to the body, Marcos. It was a solid shot. A pause in the action for Alonzo, but, I mean, Ramirez didn't capitalize.
Come now to the final seconds of round number 6. Ramirez, Alonzo, duking it out here for the fans at the Salon Mezzanine.
And a great round, man, to close the fight. After being in control, he came out here, he looked for the finish. He didn't get it, but he threw everything he had. He landed crisp shots. You know, it's just, Alonzo's a tough dude, like you said, almost 40 professional fights. You're going to run into just hard, tough veterans like him.
Ramirez, though, putting on a strong performance, a strong showing here. Compared to the last performance that he had over here at the Best in Boxing. Leaps and bounds. He looked very sharp here tonight.
Yeah, he did.
And in shape, too.
And in shape. And I have to say that a big part of that is he's now my gym mate at the Bound Boxing Academy right here in San Diego, California. You know, if looking to get pushed, Juan Medina, owner, trainer, that's what he's going to do. And that's what Rafael Ramirez did in that last and final round, as we can see. And nonstop jabs, nonstop jabs. Beautiful hooks to the body to finish these combinations. And once again, we see here every single time, starting with the jab, sets up those hard right hands.
So we're now going ahead and going to take it up to our ring announcer, Pablo Flores, to get the judge's decision.
Damas y caballeros, este combate ha sido a la distancia de 6 rounds, por lo tanto tenemos la decisión de los jueces. After 6 rounds of boxing, we have the judges' scorecards. Los 3 jueces, all 3 judges have the same scores of 60 to 54. Francisco Pacheco, Sergio Lechuga y Max Zúñiga La Bandera tienen las mismas tarjetas de 60 a 54. For your winner by the way of unanimous decision, su ganador por la vía de la decisión unánime, San Diego, California, USA, el Rafael Ramirez.
So we see a victorious Rafael Ramirez now improving his record to 24-2.
Y también el reconocimiento para su rival. Round of applause for his opponent, Alejandro Alonzo de Tijuana.
Putting on a strong and solid performance here at the Salon Mezzanine against a very experienced Alejandro Alonzo. Ramirez can go home happy knowing that the work that he put in the gym, Chris, with you and other stablemates, really showed through in this fight.
Yeah, absolutely, Marcos. I'm in the gym with him. Juan pushes us every single time. Work. That's all we do, man. The work rate on the heavy bags, even on the double M bags, definitely on the mitts. And he just pushes us, man. And you saw it today in Ramirez, the way he was able to control the fight, but not only that, throw a substantial more amount of punches more than he did the last fight.
Does he work out in those shorts too at the gym?
Absolutely not. He would be kicked out.
As we continue on the night's fights here from the Salon Mezzanine, you are watching us on Fight Up TV. This is the Best in Boxing. We're still in our main events. We're going to see the return of Domonique Dalton, 19-2-1, take on Salvador Tapia. But right now in the ring is Fermin Cañedo of Mexicali, who's a veteran of close to 30 fights, going up against the highlight reel kid, Kevin Torres, 7-0-1 from Bellingham, Washington, with the live mariachis playing behind him.
Yeah.
Talk about serious power, serious pop. Kevin Torres scoring a huge highlight knockout win
Cantar con todo
in
el
his last
alma.
fight.
Se escuche mi canción, que suenen las guitarras para cantarle corrido a Mazatlán. Yo sé que debo cantar con todo el alma para esta gente que es puro corazón y que se escuche mi canto en la montaña y que hasta el faro se escuche mi canción. Ay, qué bonito el paseo del centenario, ay, qué bonita también su catedral. Aquí hasta el pobre se siente millonario, aquí se pasa la vida sin llorar. Yo soy fuereño, nací de aquí muy lejos y sin embargo les digo en mi cantar que tienen todos ustedes un orgullo, el gran orgullo de ser de Mazatlán. Esas mujeres que tienen por mujeres, ante la rosa se pueden comparar, porque el perfume que tienen los claveles lo tienen ellas y tienen algo más. Y de sus hombres, pues qué podría decirles, que son amigos y nobles de verdad. Qué lindo es todo lo que hay en más allá. Ay, qué bonito el paso del centenario. Ay, qué bonito también su catedral. Ay, en su poder se siente millonario. Ay, que la vida se pasa sin llorar. Yo soy pueblo, nací de aquí muy lejos. Y sin embargo les digo en mi cantar que tienen todo ustedes un orgullo, el gran orgullo de ser de Mazatlán.
Well, what an entrance there for Kevin Torres as we take it up to Pablo Flores to get this show started.
Damas y caballeros, Boristeca Boxing Promotions y BIB, The Best in Boxing, presenta este encuentro pactado a 6 rounds en la división de peso welter. Let's get ready for 6 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Your 3 judges scoring this bout in ringside. Sus 3 jueces: Francisco Pacheco, Sergio Lechuga y Max Zúñiga la bandera. And your third man at the bell, el tercero en la superficie, el experimentado Juan Morales Lee. Introducing the fighter standing in the blue corner, wearing black trunks with orange trim. He's official weight 147 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, vistiendo pantaloncillo negro con naranja, con un peso de 147 libras. He stands with 30 professional bouts. Cuenta con 30 combates profesionales representando Mexicali, Baja California y Tijuana, Baja California. Alberto El Muerto Cañedo. And his opponent across the ring is standing in the red corner, wearing black trunks with silver trim. His official weight, 144.5 pounds. Y su rival en la esquina roja, vistiendo pantaloncillo negro con plata, con un peso de 144.5 libras. And his professional campaign, he stands with a record of 7 wins, no losses, 1 draw, and 5 of those wins coming by the fast way of knockout. Presenta un récord de 7 victorias, 0 derrotas, 1 empate y 5 de esas victorias por la vía rápida del knockout. Representing Wellingham, Washington, en Mazatlán, Sinaloa, México. House of Boxing, San Diego, California. The Diamond Boy, Kevin Torres. And here he is with the final instructions, con las indicaciones finales, el referee Juan Morales Lee.
Jóvenes, saben las reglas, llévenlas a cabo. Mucho cuidado con la cabeza, no al cerebro, no a los riñones, no bajo el cinturón, no golpes de revés ni con el hombro. Dense la mano que gane mejor. Suerte para los dos.
And here we go, round number 1 of a 6-round scheduled fight between Kevin Torres and Fermin Cañedo. Torres, the Diamond Boy, and the black trunks, going up against Cañedo, who is in the black shorts with orange trim, channeling his inner Hector Macho Camacho with those trunks. Torres, always in shape for fights, as you see his physique. Big knockout puncher, as he scored a highlight knockout last year. 1 punch set up with left hook. One of the best knockouts that I've seen live in person. A lot of hype on this kid. A lot of people have their eyes on him. So far, has been the goods in his fights here. Let's see what kind of challenge Cañedo can show to Torres. Cañedo, like I mentioned, a veteran of 30 fights. A big difference in experience between the two fighters, Chris, with Kevin only having a total of 8 fights in his pro career.
Yeah, Marcos, but he's well schooled. You know, he's coming out of the House of Boxing here in San Diego. And you see it right away, you know, popping that jab. Right away, he started to the body a few seconds ago, and there he goes again.
Torres taking his time in there. Dang, you look at the muscle structure of Torres. His back looks like an aircraft carrier. My goodness. It's a big kid for welterweight.
Yeah, he's definitely a strong kid, man. And how you see him, remember, we both remember that that punching power that he's put on here at the Salón Mezzanine.
Cañedo, though, has been real patient in there, feeling out Torres. Torres, though, has been the one with the offense as Cañedo finally throws a good hook there. Torres changing his levels.
You know what? How you say he might be waiting. I think it's the fact that he feels Torres' power.
Just missing there, Torres, that big hook.
For me, as a professional fighter, over 40 fights, you know, I would say that both fighters should have the option to wear the exact same gloves, and I don't think that was the case in this fight. You know, Kevin Torres wearing the puncher's glove, Everlast MX, and I can tell you from experience, wearing them and also being on the opposite side, they hurt. Those are hard gloves, you know, compared to what Fermin Cañedo's wearing. They're a little bit more padded. So I think he feels Kevin Torres' punches.
So we take a look here at the replay. Torres landing a hook there. Cañedo took it well, though seeing the power of Torres, you're not going to want to take a lot of those punches cleanly from him.
Yeah, absolutely not, man. And that's what I said about the gloves. You know, he's already a big puncher. Then he has the puncher's glove in the Everlast MX. You know, Cañedo's definitely thinking twice before he gets in the pocket.
As we begin round number 2, let's see if Kevin Torres can have another strong performance here at the Salón Mezzanine. Has a very game opponent in front of him so far, and Fermin Cañedo.
Yeah, he's very weary of what Kevin Torres is throwing. I believe we've seen Cañedo here before, and definitely not the style he fought in last time. He's very conscious of Kevin Torres' power.
Yeah,
the way he's moving.
You don't want to get hit with one of those big punches from him. As Torres throws an uppercut there, but Cañedo's able to block. Responds, but gets hit with the straight. And Cañedo smartly clinching up right away.
It looks like Cañedo did his homework because he's dipping and dodging and then holding as soon as Torres gets close.
Yeah, I'd be doing the same thing if you put me in front of this guy right here.
Like a little pit bull.
Big shot there. Lands. Torres opening up his offense a little bit more, though, and down goes Cañedo from a body shot.
And if he gets up, Torres is going to jump on him.
Well, let's see if he does just that. Torres can follow up on this knockdown here. As Cañedo throws a punch, slips. See if indeed Torres can close the show here in round number 2. Plenty of time left. A little under than a minute in this round.
And that was a hard left hook to the body by Torres.
The corner of Cañeta imploring him to use that jab to keep Torres off of him.
That's actually what Torres needs to do as he's coming in. He needs to distract him, just pepper him with that jab. Pepper him with that jab, and he's going to be able to land those hooks to the body again.
So he digs to the body right there, but it's smartly blocked by Cañeta.
Cañeta, that's all he's thinking about right now. That's why Torres has to pop him with a jab, pepper him, bother him, give him a distraction, and then go to the body.
Both fighters disengaging from the clinch. Referee Juan Morales Lee warning them of the rabbit punches. Big shot right there from Torres. Cañeta just ate it full, but does not want to get hit by those. Could be lights out for him. As we come to the end of round number 2, Cañeta suffering a knockdown in that round, eating some big punches there. He's going to need to make a lot of adjustments coming in his round 3 as he's shaking his head in the corner right now. We take a look now at the action from that second round. Torres in control. Big punches from him. Following up with that uppercut there. He's so compact with his punches.
Yeah, that's what makes him a power puncher. He's able to generate that level of torque and leverage on his shots, you know, because he is so compact.
Round number 3 here at the Salon Mezzanine in Tijuana, Mexico. Torres lands a hook there. Cañeta throwing a little bit more than the first 2 rounds, as he's now using a lot more movement than previous, clinching there. Big punches miss from Cañeta. Torres continues to come forward. Does have a good guard on him, Chris. And Cañeta finding some problems getting past that guard of Torres.
Well, in order for him to do that, Marcos, he needs to get in that fire, man, and be able to throw with Kevin Torres so he opens up. But that being said, he's got to be in that line of fire, those hard shots of Torres.
Torres pouring it on now. Cañeta smartly holding. Non-stop offense coming from Torres as Cañeta takes a knee. It's ruled a knockdown.
Well, Torres landed a solid right hand, which made him take a knee.
See if Torres closes the show now. And down goes Cañeta again. He shakes his head. He cannot take the offense, the power of Kevin Torres. Kevin Torres getting another knockout win here at the Salon Mezzanine. And he's all power, Chris. Those punches, man, you just can't let a guy that's built like that hit you like that.
Yeah, you definitely can't, man. He was just way too much for Fermin Cañeta tonight. And that being said, Marcos, you know, he's got a good corner. It might be time to start stepping it up in competition. You know, he's able to get these guys out of there. Let's go ahead and move forward.
As we take a look at the last knockdown and how Torres was able to set it up, Chris, take us through the action.
Well, here he pretty much just had him hurt. All he had to do is just put an exclamation point, you know, which was a overhand right, I believe, right there. And SESEñA didn't want any more of it.
And like you mentioned, he was already hurt. He had already been knocked down in that last round, and he got hit with some big punches.
Yeah, he was already hurt. His will was broken. Definitely wasn't going to go the distance.
Damas y caballeros, tenemos el tiempo oficial de 1 minuto 47 segundos. En el tercer asalto, we have the official time of 1 minute and 47 seconds in round number 3. Declaring your winner by the way of KO victory. El ganador por la vía del knockout. Bellingham, Washington y Mazatlán, Sinaloa. Del House of Boxing de San Diego. The Diamond Boy, Kevin Torres.
Found a diamond in the rough here at the Best in Boxing as Kevin Torres continuing his
Y
winning
también fuerte
ways.
reconocimiento para su rival, para Alberto Cañedo.
His record now to 8-0-1, scoring another knockout victory here in Mexico.
Pummeled his way to that victory, Marcos. Was it 3 knockdowns? 4?
3, I think.
3.
3.
Either way, Kevin Torres did what he had to do. Put an exclamation point, you know, further his record and further his career and look out for bigger fights.
And I'm sure he's going to get those big fights, and he's going to get the attention of a lot of people if he continues knocking his opponents out in that fashion.
Yeah, he has a fan-friendly style, you know, comes in to bang, does a good job.
So we now come to the co-main event of the evening. If you guys are tuning in over here, this is the Best in Boxing on Fight Up TV. Still in our main event, Domonique Dolton taking on Salvador Tapia. Dalton looking to bounce back from the second career defeat that he suffered last November in his home state of Michigan. But before we get to that, we will show the fight between Mario Ramirez and Ramiro CESEñA, which is set to take place right now.
And as I recall, Marcos, Mario Güero Ramirez, a fan favorite here at the Salón Mezzanine.
Just want to throw out a reminder there for you fans that are watching us. Thank you very much for tuning in over here at Fight Hub, the second live event that we've streamed here on the channel. Thank you for your continued support. This is for you, the fans that make boxing the sport that it is. And we want to give a big thanks over to Global Sports Streaming as well as Boristeca Promotions for giving us the opportunity to stream this event to you live here from Mexico. Like I mentioned, calling the action here with my broadcast partner, Chris Martin. Chris, co-main event coming up. Mario Güero Ramirez going up against Ramiro CESEña. Güero, no stranger to fighting here at the Best in Boxing. What about him do you like in terms of his style, and what do you expect out of this fight?
Oh, he definitely has a fan-friendly style, which you guys are going to see in a few minutes. He brings in a big crowd. He throws punches and bunches. He is more of a boxer, but he slings them, man. He throws his hands, and he's going to continue to throw his hands throughout the rounds.
Now, with that, this will be the 12th fight in the pro career of Ramirez. Like you mentioned, he brings in a big crowd. He's from a small city in Mexico of Camalu. The fans come in buses from that small town to come here and support him.
Yeah, I mean, that's great, man. To have your family, your friends, your fans come on a tour bus to come see you fight, that's awesome, man. I can't think of anything better.
It's a party bus.
A party bus, there you go.
Bus. It's a festive mood over here at the Salon Mezzanine. Like I mentioned, Ramirez taking on Ramiro CESEña with a record of 3-0. CESEña coming into this fight, you could maybe say on paper as the underdog, but he's going to give it to Ramirez. He wants to have a good showing because he is an undefeated fighter.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's coming in 3-0, and what you have at 3-0, whether you fought the best or you fought, pardon my expression, cab drivers, you're coming in with confidence. You're 3-0. You're an undefeated fighter. You're coming in to win. So what are we going to see? We're going to see a good fight.
And a lot of those times, those cab drivers are pretty damn tough, and they'll give you a run for your money as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a few of them tonight, right?
Yeah, I cannot forget about Jose Leal, who we've seen here from time to time in the Best in Boxing. Doesn't have the best record in the world, but he comes to fight. So
Yes.
it's always those opponents that you never know.
Every single time he comes to fight, Marcos. And that said, I appreciate that guy. He comes in and he throws and he puts on the show for the fans here at Salon Mezzanine. And it's always a great show when I see a guy like that.
I know, you guys watching, promoters, bring back Leal. He's good fun, he's good entertainment.
Absolutely.
And like I mentioned to our main event, for those fans watching, of course, Dominique Dalton making his much anticipated return after suffering the second career loss back in his home state of Michigan against the undefeated Jamonte Clark on FS1. Certainly he wants to get momentum going back in his favor, but he also wants to start off the year strong. This is his first fight of 2018.
Yeah, he's got to set the trend for what's going to happen in 2018. He's got to get a victory here, like I said earlier, in hostile territory. He's coming in. He's got to get the victory, get his confidence back up, and he's got the right opponent here tonight.
Certainly, he's looking to work his way back up. He is under the PBC stable, advised by Al Heyman, and we've seen his last few fights on FS1, so it's certainly a pleasure to show this fight, his comeback fight, over here on Fight Hub. Said a lot of fight, a lot. It's kind of a
That's what we're in, Marcos. We're in the fight game.
We are in the fight game. As we are continuing this night's action, co-main event coming up, Mario Ramirez going up against Ramiro CESEña. Go ahead and give us a follow as well right now as you're watching. Follow us at Fight Up TV. And as we go now to a commercial break, let's hear from our sponsors.
You know, people just don't understand how tough this life is. People ask me then, why do it? Simple. I want to be the best in boxing. Follow Best in Boxing on YouTube, where the future stars of boxing fight.
Watching us right now, we'd like to go ahead and thank LiveView for all their support as we build Best in Boxing over here on Fight Up TV. We use LiveView Solo, which is designed for use by broadcasters, journalists, videographers, and video gamers in the esports segment. We want to give a big thanks over to LiveView for going ahead and powering this broadcast here tonight.
People just don't know what we go through. All the time away from family, hours of road work, fighting through the pain of training. You know, people just don't understand how tough this life is. People ask me then, why do it? Simple. I want to be the best in boxing. Follow Best in Boxing on YouTube, where the future stars of boxing fight.
matchup between both fighters.
Yeah, and Ramiro CESEñA, although we see the 3-0 record, I see some cuts on his eyebrows already, which means he's been in definitely more fights than 3.
Damas y caballeros, Boristeca Boxing Promotions y VIP The Best in Boxing presentan nuestro combate coestelar de esta noche. Y está pactado a 6 rounds en la división de peso superpluma. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your co-featured bout of the evening. Set for 6 rounds of boxing in the super featherweight division. Your 3 judges scoring this bout in ringside. Sus 3 jueces, Francisco Pacheco, Sergio Lechuga y Max Zúñiga Lavandera. And when the bell rings, your third man, el tercero en la superficie, el profesor Fernando Rentería. Introducing the fighter standing in the blue corner, wearing black and white. His official weight 129 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, vistiendo pantaloncillo negro con blanco, con un peso de 129 libras. And his professional campaign, he stands undefeated, with 3 victories, with no losses. Cuenta con un récord invicto de 3 victorias por 0 derrotas, representando Ciudad Constitución, Baja California Sur. Ramiro CESEñA. And his opponent across the ring is standing in the red corner, wearing black and gold. His official weight 129 pounds. Y su rival en la esquina roja, vistiendo pantaloncillo negro con oro, con un peso de 129 libras. As a professional, he stands with a record of 10 wins, 1 loss, and 4 of his wins coming by the fast way of knockout. Presenta un récord de 10 victorias, 1 derrota, y 4 de esas victorias por la vía del knockout. El jefe de jefes de Camalú, Baja California, Mario, el Güero Ramírez. And here is with the final instructions, con las indicaciones finales, el profesor Fernando Rentería.
Listo con las indicaciones, ok, vamos a tener cuidado con los cabezazos, no golpes en la nuca, no golpes en la espalda, ni bajo el cinturón. Nos vamos a cuidar en todo momento y hacer caso a mis indicaciones. Choquen los guantes, suerte, ganen mejor.
Well, here we go, folks. We are live from the Salon Mezzanine in Tijuana, Mexico, as we are set to start our co-main event of the evening. 10-1, Mario Güero Ramirez, taking on 3-0, Ramiro CESEñA. As round number 1 is now underway, we have a very special guest joining us as well, the manager of the headliner tonight, David Segura, who will be chiming in during this fight and in the main event. We want to go ahead and give him a welcome over here to our broadcast booth.
Excellent. Thank you, Marcos. Great to join you and Chris for this fight.
Thank you very much as well, David.
Good to have you, David.
As Ramirez, the taller of the 2 fighters, visibly a reach advantage that he holds over Ramiro CESEñA.
You're killing me, Marco.
Good straight there. 3-punch combination there thrown by Ramirez.
And we introduced David, but a lot of boxing knowledge coming from David, right? I mean, your background, you know, you had contacts with the great Emmanuel Stewart back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. Yeah, no, it's, again, the famed Kronk Boxing Gym in Detroit. So, again, Domonique Dolton grew up in that gym, 8 years old, walked into that gym, and 20 years later, here we are in Tijuana, Mexico. So Emmanuel Stewart, I mean, just one of the greatest trainer. And you're going to see, again, some fireworks tonight from Domonique.
We're seeing some offense here right now, though, from Ramirez. CESEñA. See, I got it this time, Chris. Coming forward.
Took you a few tries, but you got it, man.
I got it. He lands it straight right there, though. counters with another. Both fighters landing punches, both coming forward now. Good inside work here by both fighters. Big right hand there lands flush from CESEña.
Big right hand.
And Ramirez took it like it was nothing. Good poker face on him. Fouls it up with an uppercut, though.
And that's the style you need to beat Ramirez, is pressure. Ramiro CESEña is coming forward, throwing punches and bunches. Because if you sit outside, Mario Güero Ramirez is just going to pick you apart, man. He's going to keep throwing those combinations, those long jabs. But CESEña's doing the right thing here, coming forward, throwing a lot of shots.
Ramirez three-punch combination finishes it up to the body.
Nice right hand by CESEña.
Lands a hook there on CESEña. Good back and forth action in this round number 1.
And not much of a feel-out round. They're coming in and they're throwing Marcos. They're slanging them.
Excellent round by both of these fighters. Could have counted themselves close round as well. Chris, based on what you saw, what do you like?
I have to say that Ramiro CESEña won the round in my opinion. He came forward, he landed combinations, and I think he rocked Ramirez slightly.
We take a look at some of the action from round number 1. Hooks being landed to the body by CESEña. Follows it up with a two-punch combination, but Ramirez answering right back.
And that was a low blow that wasn't caught by the referee.
A little bit low, but Ramirez.
He was on the other side. He wasn't able to see it.
Eats that punch right there, but good poker face. Able to take the punch of CESEña. When you get these guys at these lighter weight divisions, it's all action. It's all offense from them. Very exciting fighters. We begin now round number 2. Mario Ramirez in the black trunks with gold trim.
Now Ramirez needs to sit on the outside and use his length because CESEña is coming forward throwing heat, man.
CESEña is throwing heat. Good movement on him as well as he's in the black shorts with white trim on the side. Beautiful combination there from Ramirez, but he pays for it, staying there in the pocket as CESEña answers back. Both fighters now fighting on the inside, exchanging hooks. Straight right hand lands. Both fighters are swinging now.
This is great action. This is why I came to Tijuana.
Yeah, absolutely, David. This is the style we get here in Tijuana. It's just when you get two Mexican fighters, it's just nonstop throwing punches. See whose will breaks first. Right now, it seems as CESEña is landing the harder shots, though.
We might see whose jaw breaks first with those punches getting landed flush on both these fighters here.
I think CESEña is throwing the more compact punches. Definitely the harder shots have landed from CESEña.
Eats a jab right there, though, does CESEña. Needs to be careful to not keep his hands too low to be countered by Ramirez. Ramirez popping that jab. Ramirez now, the one pressing forward now.
Yeah, maybe CESEña unloaded a little bit too much earlier in this round.
Could be saving himself for a little bit more as he lands a big punch right there.
That too.
He has been landing the bigger punches, the cleaner punches.
And there
he
goes
lands
again.
A hook. Body, head, good variation of punches by both fighters. Ramirez wings that hook over there just moments ago. Seems the mouthpiece may have fallen out from Ramiro CESEña.
No, they never put it in the first place.
Jeez, he never put in the mouthpiece? My goodness, what a chin.
You just remembered I need
CESEña
that.
has. Yeah, definitely an important thing to have in a fight.
It's going to be important later on.
Yeah.
I still need to chew sometimes.
CESEña now the one pressing forward. Ramirez being patient in there, moving away from the offense of CESEña. CESEña working the body. Has Güero Ramirez pinned here in the corner. Following it up with hooks. Some landing, some blocked. Ramirez responding with an uppercut right there, just missing with that hook is CESEña.
And I think CESEña hit him low, but referee didn't catch it.
Back and forth action here in Tijuana, Mexico. Both fighters not wanting to give up an inch here. Two-punch combination there from Ramirez.
And this is where Ramirez doesn't want the fight. He wants to be on the outside because he has the advantage there. He lets his hands go from the outside, but every time they're on the inside, CESEña just takes advantage.
As we come now to the final 10 seconds of this second round here, which seems like it may have been a little bit longer as the two continue to exchange there. It's left hook city so far, Chris.
Yeah, by CESEña, I mean, Ramirez needs to find a way to take that away from CESEña if he wants to win this fight.
We take a look at the action of that second round. CESEña swinging but landing his straights. They'll get countered by Ramirez. Just both fighters going back and forth here. Good ebb and flow to the action. Chris, given your experience, your eye, who's getting the advantage so far in this fight? They've been two very competitive back and forth rounds.
Yeah, absolutely competitive. But if you're asking for my expertise, I think CESEña is the more comfortable fighter in there. I think Mario Güero Ramirez is feeling uncomfortable every time that CESEña gets on the inside. So if he wants to avoid that discomfort, stay on the outside, box on the outside.
He is the taller, longer fighter of the two, is Mario Ramirez, as he's now using his distance to keep CESEña on his back foot moving.
And he's actually walking forward, so.
That straight blocked by CESEña, but CESEña eating a shot there. Ramirez following up, but he eats a shot of his own.
And CESEña is doing good countering, switching it up, and he might have hurt Ramirez right there with that overhand right.
He's landed a lot of counter punches, has CESEña. Uppercut there, but Güero Ramirez, big uppercut, follows it up, misses that hook.
Wow, beautiful
as
uppercut.
Both are going just back and forth in close distances.
That might have been a ploy to get him to come forward and get on this inside fight.
Ramirez now going back to the jab. Ramirez needs to be careful with his punches. He is getting countered a lot when he throws that straight by the hook of CESEña, though. He's unloading on CESEña. CESEña moving laterally, getting out of that corner.
And just sheer inactivity from CESEña, because when he lets his hands go, he lands. He even slightly stuns or hurts Ramirez.
A big swing there from CESEña, but he's missing, and Ramirez with good movement there, peppering the head of CESEña with his jabs. It's a better round for him in this round number 3.
Yeah, absolutely, a much better round.
Making an adjustment, using his distance and boxing in there. CESEña just coming forward, lands a good straight there. But Ramirez following it up. But he's back in the corner, moves out. Good straight there.
But the sheer volume of Ramirez is taking over this fight.
As both fighters exchanging at the end of round number 3. Like we mentioned earlier, Chris, a very good round for Ramirez. What adjustments did you see there?
He let his hands go. He definitely did box from the outside. But the main thing here was the inactivity of CESEña. He didn't let his hands go that round. Could it be that he got tired? I don't know. We're going to see here, and I'm intrigued for this 4th round coming up, considering he did so well in the first 2 rounds. There's CESEña, and he just completely whopped out in the 3rd round. Didn't do much. And they're fanning him right now in the corner. That might be an issue, is the conditioning.
As now I'm going to bring in David Segura, as I'm christening you our new unofficial scorekeeper. Over the course of these 3 rounds, how do you see it so far?
Well, yeah, no, I think this has been toe-to-toe. This has been great action between both these fighters. Both of them want it. I think you said we're going to see who's in condition, who's really conditioned to finish strong over these 6 rounds.
Who have you given it to so far?
CESEña, I think CESEña.
CESEña coming forward now. It's a tongue twister of a name, trust me.
Gracias.
Good pace being fought by both fighters. This is a 6-round fight, so these rounds are crucial for both fighters. Ramirez getting hit there with a lunging punch from CESEña. You can't allow CESEña to back him in the corner like this. Seems every time he does, he gets peppered with punches from CESEña. CESEña lands a big hook there.
Nice left hook by CESEña, and that's what he needs to keep doing, is just put on the pressure, start at the body, and finish with that hard left hook.
Ramirez got a chin on him, though. He's able to land a punch there. Finally got CESEña a bit more stationary as he's teeing off there. Both fighters digging into their punches, just putting everything into it.
Yeah, you can hear the thuds, the body shots.
And we spoke about adjustments in that last round, Chris. Ramirez was able to control the distance and box as referee
back of the head
here calls a break to the action. Ramirez complaining of a shot to the back of the head.
That, to me, Marcos, looks like he's just buying time. I think he's tired. You know, the pressure that CESEña is bringing on, it might be a little bit too much. He needs a little breather, you know.
We continue the action now. Like I was mentioning, we spoke about adjustments. Ramirez in that other round, boxing a bit more, but now CESEña, it seems he made an adjustment himself, choosing to pressure more. And he's having some success, but he is getting counterpunched as well.
The thing is, when you're boxing, when you're on your heels, excuse me, on your toes, and on your back heel, it takes a lot more effort for you to keep running back, popping jabs, throwing combinations, than it does going forward, the way CESEña is doing. It's very easy, man. Just if you have the skill to just walk forward, dip, dodge, and then throw your punches. Conditioning-wise, that's the guy that's going to outlast the guy running. I guarantee you. And if they're evenly matched like we see here, I'd have to give the edge to CESEña, just like I gave him the edge in this round.
You got it. I agree with you, Chris.
As 4 rounds are now in the books, highly competitive matchup between both these fighters. The fight seemingly could be in the balance here, and both fighters needing to put in that extra work in this upcoming round number 5 to seal the deal. David, after 4 rounds, do you still see CESEña in control of this fight, and do you still give him the nod so far after 4 rounds?
Yeah, I sure do. In fact, I got a 3 rounds to 1 for CESEña.
Chris, what do you make of that?
I have it the same as David, 3-1. You know, the 3rd round was the only round that I give to Mario Güero Ramirez. He won it convincingly, but Ramiro CESEña is just bringing the fight to Güero Ramirez.
So we now begin round number 5. CESEña lunging in there with hooks. Güero Ramirez trying to keep him back with punches. Both are exchanging now again in close quarters. CESEña landing a hook there. As he continues to press forward, chopping away at that body. It's so hard being a boxer, having to face a guy who's constantly in your face, just touching you up to the body and the head.
Well, Marcos, that's where conditioning comes in. You know, that's why you put in the road work, put in the hours in the gym, the mitts, sparring, all that to get you ready for this situation, man. Because CESEña just keeps on coming and he doesn't stop. Not only that, he does a good job. He's just making Güero Ramirez miss right there.
Ramirez now lands a straight. Both are at the center of the ring right now. Loads up on that hook, but it's blocked by CESEña. As both trade hooks.
Yeah, but still, CESEña landing the crisper shots.
Durable chins on both fighters. There's been moments in this fight where both have landed flush and have been able to walk through their opponent's punches, no problem.
And you're starting to see Ramirez wear down slightly. Those body shots of CESEña are showing.
We come now under a minute left in round number 5. CESEña digging to the body there. Ramirez attempting to just keep that pressure off of him. But CESEña doing a good job of moving him back, cornering him at times. Seems Ramirez has slowed down a bit, though. He lands a 3-punch combination there. Perhaps could be saving his energy for that last round coming up. As CESEña continues to press forward.
And Ramirez might be edging this round with sheer activity because...
And clean punching as well.
And clean punching, yes. CESEña's kind of, I don't want to say he's taking a breather, but that's what it looks like.
I have to agree. I think Ramirez got that round. I think it's 3-2 CESEña.
Yeah, simply on activity, right?
We take a look back at the action in round number 5. Straight there. CESEña countering with his own punch and then gets countered back by Ramirez. It's back and forth action here. You see the drool coming out of the mouths of CESEña.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that in the very first round. The fact that CESEña is wearing a double mouthpiece. To tell you the truth, Marcos, and for all the fans out there, those do not work. They're very uncomfortable. You cannot breathe. And what do you need in this game? You need to control your breathing. You need to be able to, for that longevity, you know, to go rounds. You need to be able to breathe.
Mijo Management
you definitely
presenta
cannot
el round
do that
número
with a double
6.
mouthpiece.
I was going to say, that reminds me of like a football mouthpiece almost.
Yeah, and I could see it. His mouth is open. He's having a hard time breathing because what are you doing with that double mouthpiece? You're focusing on shutting your mouth. You're clogging your own oxygen.
We are now in the 6th and final round here in a super featherweight fight between Mario Güero Ramirez, who's in the black shorts with gold trim, 10-1, taking on Ramiro CESEña in the black shorts with white trim. 3-0, the co-main event here at the Salon Mezzanine in Tijuana, Mexico, as both fighters now exchanging punches on the inside. Ramirez having to push off CESEña. CESEña throughout the fight having success pressuring Ramirez, cutting off the ring at times, and pinning Ramirez in the corner. Very close fight at this point, though. Whoa.
They turned away.
Ramirez turned away from Strange Region as...
Protect yourself at all times.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first thing that came to mind. And this could be crucial right here. This could swing the bout. A point is being taken away now by Ramiro CESEña for a low blow.
No warning.
Yeah, no warning whatsoever. Usually you get a stern warning.
You get a stern warning. It didn't look like such a massive shot that deserved, a point deduction.
And let's see how this point being taken away from Ramiro CESEña changes the whole dynamic of the fight.
Yeah, I got this even now. I got it even now. So this is the time to dig deep. Let's see what CESEña's got.
And he comes straight in. He knows this fight could be in jeopardy. As both now.
And luckily for him, it came early, so he has time to work. He has 2 minutes.
Oh, he's working the body of Ramirez, and he's down on one knee. Ramirez now shaking water as CESEña comes forward, looking to close the show, not wanting it to go to the judges' scorecards.
Bring it home.
As he's throwing everything and the kitchen sink at Ramirez. Ramirez could be on the brink of being stopped here.
Marco said those are thudding shots that CESEña is landing.
CESEña keeps digging to the body, but Ramirez counters back as well.
Güero Ramirez has a whole minute to survive this round.
He has a whole minute to survive, but CESEña has a whole minute to try to win this fight back from him. Having lost the point earlier in this round, Ramirez now showing some life to him. Smartly clinching when he needs to clinch. But Ramirez continuing to move back and push CESEña off of him, but CESEña doing a good job and just keep coming forward.
And CESEña is going to the body over and over, like he dropped him with that body shot, and he's going back to the body. That's very smart.
Good counter shot there by Ramirez, though. Digging shots. 2 clean punches now to the dome of CESEña as Ramirez follows it up to the body.
He returns
Back
the
and forth
favor.
action over here at the Salon Mezzanine as Ramirez now come alive. As the fans here are on their feet. And we come now to the end of round number 6. What a round, guys.
Great fight.
You're right, David. Great fight. Güero Ramirez, he definitely bit down in the last few seconds to throw those combinations and try to steal that round. And the truth is that, how do you score that round, Marco? You have a point deduction, and then you have a knockdown on the other side. So
you got to go and give it 10-9 to whoever you thought did the work. As we take a look at the last seconds of the round here, just back and forth action. CESEña lands one. Ramirez comes back with a series of punches. CESEña working to the body, uppercuts, hooks. Ramirez waiting, placing his shots as well. It's going to be a tough one to score, guys. With beautiful body work from Ramirez. I would have liked to have seen that earlier in the fight from him.
I think he felt the urgency right there at the end. He didn't want the fight to slip away from him. but it might have been a little too late. What do you think, David?
Again, this was a great fight, but I still got CESEña. I think he did pull this out with that knockdown.
You know what, David? I think I might have to agree with that. CESEña might have edged it out, but we never know. It's in the hands of the judges now, and see which way they have it.
Props to both fighters, though. What a heck of a fight here in our co-main event between Mario Güero Ramirez and Ramiro CESEña.
I think you said it best too. I think the skill-wise, they were pretty evenly matched.
I agree, David. They both have the same caliber of fighting, but two completely different styles. You know, CESEña, the come forward guy, punches and bunches, and he threw punches and bunches, the same as Güero Ramirez, the boxer, you know, distance, punches and bunches. So this is definitely a hard fight for the judges to score, and we'll see how it goes, right, Marcos?
Yeah, that's it right there. We'll see how it goes. You never know with these judges, honestly. You never know. We could be seeing one thing and they see something completely different. So we'll see how they have seen it here at the Salon Mezzanine in Tijuana, Mexico. But hats off to both these guys, man. They put their heart out on there and they gave us a really good fight.
Absolutely. I think this is one of the best fights of the night, if not the best so far. It was back and forth, you know.
As I think now we are going to go ahead and get the decision. Let's take it up to our ring announcer, Pablo Flores, to hear what the judges have scored this fight.
Damas y caballeros, antes que nada de irnos a la decisión, un fuerte aplauso para CESEña y para el Güero Ramírez por este gran combate. Round of applause for these two warriors, CESEña and Güero Ramírez. And after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Después de 6 rounds de combate, tenemos las tarjetas de los jueces. Judge, el juez, Max Zúñiga, scores it 57-55, 57-55, en favor de CESEña. Sergio Lechuga scores it 57-55, 57-55, en favor of Ramírez. And Judge Francisco Pacheco, el juez Francisco Pacheco scores it 56-56 even, 56-56. Por lo tanto, tenemos un empate. This bout is a draw.
Folks, both Mario Güero Ramirez.
Pero nuevamente fuerte el aplauso para CESEña de Ciudad Constitución y para el Güero Ramírez de Camalú, Baja California.
And Ramiro CESEña.
Tendremos revancha próximamente. We will have a rematch.
Joined now with Ramiro CESEña. First off, great effort, a heck of a fight that you and Güero Ramirez put on, but you guys fought to a majority draw. Do you agree with that decision?
¿Estás de acuerdo con el empate?
Yo creo que no, pero me gustaría una revancha. pero en 60 kilogramos.
I don't agree with the decision, but I would like a rematch, 60 kilos.
Do you feel that the weight did make a difference? Why do you want the rematch at a different weight?
El peso, ¿tú piensas que fue el peso factor?
Yo bajé mucho para esta pelea y una revancha.
Yeah, I made a great effort to cut weight, so I would love a rematch.
In terms of the actual fight, why do you feel you won this fight?
¿Por qué sientes que ganaste esta pelea? En términos generales.
Yo creo que tuve más fuerza que él y mejores golpes conectados.
I felt I was stronger than him, I have the better punches. That's why I feel I won.
As we now go over to your opponent, Mario Güero Ramirez. You heard his words. He feels he won the fight. Obviously, you feel you won the fight. What do you make of the decision, and why do you feel you won this?
¿Por qué sientes que tú ganaste esta pelea?
Bueno, pues yo siento que gané. ¿Por qué? Porque mis mejores golpes se vieron más efectivos. Sí tiro muchos, pero yo siento que la verdad los míos se vieron a mejor alcance y la mayoría de los que yo tiraba le entraban todos. Yo no vi que se quitaran casi muchos de los que yo les tiraba.
I landed more punches than he did. I did a better fight than him, so I think I won the fight. I deserved the victory.
He said he wants a rematch, but at a higher weight. What do you make of that, and would you entertain that?
¿Cómo lo esperas? ¿Estás de acuerdo en eso?
No, la verdad no. Si quiero una revancha, mi peso se los puedo dar, sería en pluma y superpluma, no más.
No, I don't agree of having a fight in 60 kilos, either featherweight or super featherweight. That's my weight.
All right, thank you so much. You guys did put on a great show here tonight. For the fans in attendance, everybody, give both these gentlemen a round of applause for a great fight they put here tonight for you fans watching us here in the arena and at home on Fight Hub.
All right, David, and we have the next fight coming up between Salvador Tapia and Domonique Dolton, your fighter.
Excellent. No, what a great setup. What a great, again, last fight to set up for this main event. You're going to see some dynamic action tonight from Domonique Dolton. Again, from the Kronk Boxing Gym in Detroit.
Salvador Tapia coming to the ring. Seems like there's a little bit of a delay, David. Let's talk about Domonique Dalton. I really like what you said earlier, the fact that Emmanuel Stewart went ahead and put his stamp of approval on Dominique before. You know, obviously we all know Emmanuel Stewart, legend in the sport, you know, passed away quite a few years ago. But before then, went ahead and gave that stamp of approval to Domonique Dalton.
Yeah, in fact, he called him the man-child. At 13 years old, they actually put Dominique in with professional fighters. He not only held his own, he brought it to him, and that's why Emmanuel called him the man-child.
Well, the guy right in front of us is no child. And he's going to try to give your man, Domonique Dalton, a run for his money. We see Salvador Changuito Tapia sports a 7-1 record from Tepec, Nayarit, Mexico. Had an active 2018, last fought in February of this year, getting a 6-round unanimous decision over Ramon Barajas in his home state of Tepec. Only having a single blemish on his record, which happened back in 2017. Dropped a 6-round unanimous decision to Mauricio Norega in Tepec. So certainly no slouch here for your man, David. A young, hungry contender looking to add a name like Domonique onto his resume?
Well, I think tonight he's never seen anyone of Dominique's caliber, of his pedigree and background and skill. You know, Dominique has an amazing background, as I shared, 175 plus amateur fights, 10 years as a pro, groomed by Emmanuel Stewart, and PBC fighter right now. And he's been in there with some of the best, Miguel Cotto, Vladimir Klitschko. Emmanuel would take him to some of his biggest camps and give him a chance to spar against the very best.
Well, that being said right there, I mean, that's tremendous amount of experience, you know, right off the bat. You start with the amateurs, 175 fights. That's a ton of fights, man. And 10 years as a pro, you know, he's got the pedigree. Once again, I'll touch back on the stamp of approval from Emmanuel Stewart, which to me is probably the best thing in his corner right now, is that, you know, the fact that coached by a legend, you know, given the stamp of approval, and moving forward, that's a lot on someone's shoulders. So hopefully Domonique Dalton today can pull it off against Salvador Tapia.
You got it. In fact, in the corner as well, Theo Chambers. Theo, we call him a third, Chambers, another Kronk fighter. Actually, Theo's been in the corner of, more recently, Jalen Love, who's been fighting on Las Vegas in the Mayweather camp.
Awesome. Well, this is our main event of the evening. Let's go ahead and take it up to our ring announcer, Pablo Flores, to make it official.
Damas y caballeros, ese es el combate estelar de esta noche. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. Set for 8 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. 8 rounds de combate en la división de peso welter. Presented by Boristeca Boxing Promotions y BIB, the best in boxing. Mijo Management. Sus 3 jueces, your 3 judges scoring this bout in ringside. Francisco Pacheco, Sergio Lechuga y Max Zúñiga la bandera. And your 3rd man at the bell, el tercero en la superficie, el profesor Fernando Rentería. Ahora bien, damas y caballeros que nos siguen a través de la señal de VIP, The Best in Boxing, y los presentes desde el Salón Mezanine, desde la frontera más visitada del mundo, Tijuana, Baja California, México. ¡Ajusten sus cinturones! Introducing to you first, the fighter standing in the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white trim. He's official weight 148 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, vistiendo pantaloncillo color negro con blanco, con un peso de 148 libras. And his professional campaign, he stands with a record of 7 wins against 1 lone defeat, and 6 of his wins coming by the fast way of KO. Presenta un récord de 7 victorias, tan solo 1 derrota, y 6 de esas victorias por la vía rápida del knockout. Representando la Escuela de Boxeo Olímpico Santa Teresita, Tepic, Nayarit y Tijuana, Baja California, México. El Chava, Salvador Tapia. And his opponent across the ring is standing in the red corner, wearing blue and white. His official weight 148.5 pounds. Y su rival en la esquina roja, vistiendo pantaloncillo azul con blanco, con un peso de 148.5 libras. As a professional, he stands with a record of 19 victories against 2 losses, 1 draw, and 8 of his wins coming by the fast way of knockout. Presenta un récord de 19 victorias, 2 derrotas, 1 empate y 8 de sus victorias por la vía del knockout. Representing Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, USA, Mr. Domonique Dolton. And when the final instructions, con las indicaciones finales, aquí está el profesor Fernando Rentería.
Nunca ni bajo el cinturón. Nos vamos a cuidar en todo momento. Ok, vamos a sacar los guantes. Suerte, gane el mejor. Suerte.
All right, folks, here we are, the main event of the evening. Best in Boxing, Boristeca Boxing, and Fight Hub TV here, presenting to you Domonique Dalton, 19-2-1, taking on Salvador Tapia, 7-1. Our main event of the evening. As we begin the fight, round one underway, Domonique Dalton in the blue trunks with white trim. His opponent, Salvador Tapia, in the black trunks with white trim. This is the first time Domonique Dalton has stepped in the ring in 2018. His last fight happening in November in Detroit, dropping a 8-round majority decision to the undefeated Jamonte Clark. Dalton, through and through a boxer, coming from the famed Crunk gym and system. One of the last of the Mohicans in terms of Crunk fighters, as we're being joined broadcast side by his manager, David Segura.
Yeah, in fact, Emmanuel talked about the last wave, the crop of young fighters that he had in the gym. Domonique was again right there at the top of the list. Another great fighter to mention, who's really quickly been rising, Eric De Leon, another one of the last Mohicans developed by Emmanuel Stewart. So you're seeing again the pedigree, the background, the truly being developed by one of the greats.
Dalton displaying a great use of his ring presence here, moving forward with the jab. Started boxing at the age of 7 when his uncle took him to the Kronk gym as a way to set him straight due to Dalton getting into street fights. He was actually thrown in to spar with a 12-year-old kid who outboxed him, and it frustrated Dalton so much that he yelled at the kid for running around, and even after tried to fight him in the parking lot. So a lot of scrap in Dalton.
Oh, he is. He definitely
That's a nice
has.
story. That's cool.
Of course, the most famous Crunk fighter of all time is the Hall of Famer and multiple weight world champion, Thomas the Hitman Hearns. So a long legacy with Crunk fighters.
What made it so special, there was so many great fighters that, again, a young Domonique could be around. He could see their training. He could see them work on their skills and actually get a chance to be in the ring with them, spar against them, toe to toe.
Yeah, a lot of good examples, I imagine. Yes.
Dalton with a three-punch combination there. Tapia smartly moving out.
You know, Marcos, and I expected a lot more from Tapia during that ring announcement. You know, he was pumped up. He was pumping his chest, you know, throwing his hands up in the air. And he comes out and turns out, hey, he's a boxer.
You know what? I think he's feeling a little bit of the power, though, with Domonique. That jab is strong.
4-punch combination. Dalton, though, able to slip those punches as we come to the end of round number 1. The first round in the books for Domonique Dalton, his first fight of 2018. Like we mentioned earlier, Domonique, coming from that famed Crunk system, was part of camps with heavyweight world champion Vladimir Klitschko. And David, as I touched on that, he was a part of so many camps due to his relationship with the late Emmanuel Stewart.
Correct. In fact, yeah, you were mentioning Vladimir Klitschko. So he was in 7 of his camps. In fact, he would get in there with Klitschko for the speed. So that was one of the reasons he was chosen for that. In fact, for this camp, he trained in LA with Cecilia Brakis. So a welterweight and really one of the top female fighters in the world.
And Brakis, actually the only current undisputed champion in boxing, as she holds all the titles. The only boxer, not just only female, the only boxer in current right now to lay that claim as we begin round number 2. Dalton pressing forward. Good combination there as he has Tapia moving on his back foot, pressuring him. And Tapia at the weigh-in promised a knockout in this fight. He even told our producers that he was going to knock out Dalton. So he did a lot of talking in here, but at this point, it hasn't shown through. He's not very aggressive in there.
Yeah, absolutely not. And that said, he looks like the smaller guy in there, does Tapia. They weighed in the exact same 148, but, you know, physically, the frame of Dalton just looks a lot bigger.
Interesting in setting up this fight. We didn't have any video, a whole lot of detail on Tapia, so we're getting a chance to see him right here against Domonique Dolton.
Well, Tapia is a game opponent. He's never been down in his pro career. His power has carried through over to the middle rounds with stoppages in the 4th and 5th rounds. But in terms of experience, Dalton's had 119 rounds as a professional compared to Tapia's 25.
And don't forget 175 amateur bouts.
Dalton seemingly in control right now. Great ring generalship being displayed by him. Been able to control Tapia, making him do what he wants him to do. As he digs at the body there. Dalton teed off on Tapia. Tapia did not like that. Wisely moves away.
Good right hand by Dalton.
Dalton varying his attack, at times switching levels, targeting the body, then switching up to the head.
Yeah, I think he hurt him with that body shot, Marcos.
Might have,
Oh, yeah.
as he looks
Right
at the
in
referee.
solar plexus. The ref's not going to help him.
Are we seeing the beginning of the end here for Tapia? Remains to be seen as Dalton continues to put in work.
And once again, Marcos, I'm going to reiterate the fact that Tapia was mean-mugging Dalton the whole time during that pre-fight announcement, and he's running the whole time, on his heels the whole time.
Yeah,
and not really throwing back.
Yeah, I can tell you there was never any concern from Domonique. He's, again, with all the experience, no concern at all.
We take a look at a replay of the action that happened in round number 2. See Dalton, the 1-2. Throwing that jab out there to measure his distance with the straight as he just continues to come forward, having his way with Tapia. Now, a fun little factoid about Domonique Dalton. He's actually trained for a bit by Mickey Ward.
Oh, nice.
I have to hear more stories actually on that one. He's, you know, Domonique has had more recently too Sugar Hill. You know, the Krung Boxing Gym still exists. A lot of people don't know this. It definitely still exists. It's still going strong, and Sugar Hill Stewart is Manuel's nephew is running the gym today.
And finally, some offense from Tapia as he targets the body of Dalton, 3-punch combination, but Dalton comes right back, answers back. It doesn't really give him time to think or breathe in there. Constantly coming forward, changing his levels, moving his waist.
And that's the experience of Dalton. Tapia came out with his high guard. He doesn't want to get hit, punched in the face, and Dalton just goes to the body.
As we have mentioned, Dalton just a wealth of experience as not only a pro, but an amateur as well. 17 years old, he fought Keith Thurman at the 2008 Olympic trials. Dalton also fought Julian Williams in the amateurs and has a win over him. J-Rock having found success so far in the pros as well.
You know, that Keith Thurman fight you mentioned, Domonique talks about it often. It was toe-to-toe in the Olympic trials. And in fact, he won the first round. And then I think Keith started talking in the ring, and Domonique decided, let's just go toe-to-toe.
And it was because of that loss that Domonique actually missed out on the 2008 Olympic Games. As we mentioned, Dalton on the comeback trail. This is his first fight since dropping an 8-round majority decision to the undefeated Jamonte Clark prior to that. Dalton suffered a 10-round unanimous decision loss to Justin DeLoach in Las Vegas. Wanting to build his way back into these bigger cards is Dalton, but he has Tapia in front of him and he needs to dispose of him in impressive fashion in order to do so as he's teeing off now on a bewildered Tapia. Tapia, though, landed a straight right hand there. Dalton took it well, though. He gets hit with the straight right hand and he comes forward.
The best punch of the fight for Tapia. And that might have given him a little bit of confidence, letting his hands go a little bit more.
Targeting the bodies, Dalton. 10 knockouts to his name. I'm sure he wants to add another knockout to his resume. That's something that would make you happy as well, David, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. He's coming into this fight much stronger. You know, that last fight, I would say, you know, physically, he dropped too much weight in the very last day. This time, he's coming in at full strength.
Yeah, it's just, it comes with experience. You know, you live, you learn, move forward.
Dalton feeling comfortable in there, feeling loose as we come to the end of round number 3. Chris, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here. If you were in the position of Tapia, as we take a look at the replays here, seemingly Dalton's in control. What would you do if you were him to change the tide of the fight?
Well, in my opinion, his only chance is to throw with Dalton. I know that he seems like that might be the mistake, but that's his only chance to catch Dalton, because when Tapia's on offense and Dalton's on defense, he's not going to hit him. So he needs to catch him in between those shots. You know, but right now it doesn't seem like Tapia has the will. Definitely doesn't have the skill to compete with Dalton. So it's just going to be either a long night or maybe an early night on his way out, Tapia.
So we begin round number 4 here at the Salon Mezzanine in Tijuana, Mexico. This is Marcos Villegas on the call with my broadcast partner, Chris Martin, being joined with the manager of Dominique Dalton, David Segura. 3 rounds in the books here. Scheduled 8-round fight in the super welterweight division. The man right in front of you is Dominique Dalton, 19-2-1. Going up against Salvador Tapia, 7-1 with 6 knockouts.
And right there in between those heavy shots that Dalton's thrown is when Tapia has to throw. He just has to muster the will to do it if he wants to win this fight.
I'll tell you what, it made him hungrier coming in this fight. He definitely was a lot hungrier.
And you're seeing that hunger show through, because Dominique's been the one that's just been pressing forward as 2 punches there land for Dominique. Doing good work to the body as well. Stiff jabs there to the midsection of Tapia. You know, there's a point in Dalton's career that he wasn't getting a lot of fights, and he had to sell his car 3 times. Do you remember those times, David?
Well, I wasn't managing him at that time. We would have never let that happen.
And down goes Tapia from his shot to the body.
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed. Tapia has taken this kind of punishment. The kid's a strong kid for hanging in there, but
well, we'll see how long he's going to be able to hang in there, as Dalton, now smelling blood, keeps targeting the body of Tapia. Tapia trying to buy himself some time. I'm surprised he's not going to clinch right away.
And he's unwillingly folding over. You know, it's just the fact that Dalton's just throwing those heavy shots, body shots mainly, causing him to fold over the way he is.
Yeah, extremely surprised that he's not using this time to just clinch up and hold Dalton.
Great body shot.
And that was a good body shot again by Dalton.
Dalton now having his way with Tapia, who's overmatched. just eating these punches to the head and body.
What it might be here.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say it might be the inexperience of Tapia that he's
Another
not
great body
holding.
Well, he only has a total of 8 fights, Tapia, as Dalton's been relentless so far with his body attack, wanting to get that stoppage victory, wanting to move on to bigger and better fights. As Tapia survives the round, though his body language, seeing him walk over to the corner, it's not a very confident look on his face.
Yeah, absolutely not, Marcos. I think if he comes out for this round, we'll see if the corner lets him out. He's definitely going to get finished here in round number 6 coming up.
So take a look now at the work that Dalton has put in this last round. See body shots, Dalton coming forward, moving his waist, looking for that angle, that opening, feints, throws a shot there to the body, follows it up. Very complete stuff from Dalton.
Yeah, prior to this fight, I was saying that you're going to see the complete Domonique Dolton tonight. And again, had a great camp, came in, you know, just you're seeing 100% of what Domonique Dolton is and who he will be in the welterweight division.
Should begin round number 5. Dalton scoring a knockdown in round 4. In control of this fight, has won every single round up to this point.
By a wide margin too, Marcos.
Tapia haven't been a full 6 rounds in his career, just twice. So he's nearing that point where he could be in uncharted waters. And let's see if he's able to get to that, as Dalton has been the aggressor, been the better fighter, and been working the body of Tapia quite consistently.
Seems as though Dalton's kind of toying with him now. He's really just walking in, not showing much respect for Tapia's punches.
Could it be, David, that at this point, Domonique just wants to get some more rounds in him?
I think you're just seeing he's just extremely comfortable in there. No, I definitely know Domonique. He wants to get him out. He's just looking for that right shot now.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to look for the right shots. You don't want to put yourself in much danger. You know, anything can happen in a professional boxing fight.
I'm loving these feints from Dalton. It's confusing Tapia.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. It's making him think too much. He's unable to unload his own offense. And there he goes again with those feints. Beautiful defense. Nice body shot. Tapia slobbering.
Yeah, those punches are hurt. It looked like he might have.
It might have taken a knee right there. He held it in.
It looked like, yeah, he was thinking about it.
And there he goes again.
Those ribs are going to be sore tomorrow night, as Dalton's just tenderizing the body of Tapia throughout these 5 rounds. And there he goes. Tapia takes another knee.
Spits out the mouthpiece as well.
And that's it. The referee calls it.
Oh, he's going to throw up.
It's all over.
And he's throwing up in the corner.
Domonique Dalton getting an impressive KO win here in Tijuana, Mexico. Improving his record now to 22-1, getting the 11th knockout of his career, and forcing Salvador Tapia to throw up his dinner that he had earlier. Just brutal body assault there.
For all the young fighters out there, 4 to 5 hours prior to stepping into this professional boxing ring. 4 to 5 hours for your meal. And here we go, checking out these body shots that Dalton is landing that caused Salvador Tapia to throw up in the corner after being stopped.
David, were you impressed with the performance?
Yeah, absolutely. This is exactly what we expected tonight. You'd see the best of Dominique. You see how difficult it was to hit him. I mean, Tapia could not even touch him tonight. You saw that he can work him upstairs, downstairs. He worked him all around, and of course, those body shots were vicious.
Absolutely, David. He looked very skilled today. Classes above Tapia tonight.
You know, I have to thank, too, House of Boxing. You know, a really great story about why we're here in Tijuana. I met with Carlos Barragan, and a great story. Dominique fought David Barragan when they were 15 years old, toe-to-toe. So Carlos remembered him and said, you guys are welcome in the House of Boxing, and come on down and fight in Tijuana.
That is a great story, David.
Let's go ahead and take it up to Pablo Flores to make the decision official.
Damas y caballeros, este combate concluye con un tiempo de 2 minutos 27 segundos en el quinto asalto. We have the official time of 2 minutes 27 seconds in round number 5. For your winner by the way of TKO, su ganador por la vía del knockout técnico, from Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, USA, Dominique Dalton.
Being joined here with our winner, who is speaking to his opponent. Dominique, great performance. You got some time in your first fight of 2018. What did you feel about the work you did in there?
I believe I was in terrific shape for the fight. Time was a little off from the absence of being in the ring in the real fight. But you know, I'm ready. I'm prepared myself mentally for the fight, physically, and came out here and showed it.
This was your first fight of 2018. We've seen you on occasions on other platforms, on FS1. We know you're a fighter that wants to get on back to those bigger cards, gain momentum. Do you feel what you showed here tonight was what you wanted to show the world, and that'll get you back to those bigger fights?
I want to stay more active, you know what I'm saying? I've been working real hard, trying to stay more busier, more active, just so the time can be a little better. I'm working though, man. Whatever comes my way, you know, I'm ready to knock it off. So I'm just preparing myself mentally and physically every day in the gym.
There got to be a desire in you, though, to get those losses that you suffered back in the win column for you.
I believe those losses came from just having the wrong mentality. That's one thing I've been working on. I'm just not working to stay in shape and train my body, training my mental. That's going to be a big difference in the next fights coming.
Well, congratulations. You certainly put on a great performance here tonight. Put your boxing on full display. Your winner, everybody, Dominique Dalton. Give him a round of applause. Superb performance here tonight in Tijuana, Mexico. Well, everybody, that does it for us here at the Salon Mezzanine in Tijuana, Mexico. 8 fights, all great. And, you know, in the main event, we saw the return of Dominique Dalton, Chris. He showed his boxing on full display. He showed that pedigree of where he comes from, and I think it really showed through in this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. The boxing pedigree showed. Every single punch that he threw was with bad intentions. And getting away from those shots. You know, Tapia today had no answer for what Dalton was doing. You know, awesome show.
He put his body work on full display in our co-main event. We saw a majority decision draw. Were you in agreement with that, with what GUERO Ramirez showed and Ramiro CESEña showed in there? Or do you feel that fight should have gone to Ramiro's way or GUERO's way?
Looking back on that fight, I think that CESEña pulled it out. You know, I think he was the busier guy. He was able to land hard shots. You know, although Ramirez was a tough guy, tough customer, came to fight, threw his combinations, landed some combinations, but at the end of the day, CESEña was the one with the better shots landed and the more activity.
CESEña wanting a rematch, but at a higher weight class. GUERO Ramirez saying, nah, if the fight's gonna happen, it has to happen at the same way we fought. So we're hopeful. We'll see if we do get a rematch. If not, both fighters have a bright future in front of them. With that being said, I want to go ahead and thank all of you for watching us live over here on Fight Hub. This has been the best in boxing along with Boristeca Promotions, giving you this Friday night fight. For my broadcast partner, Chris Martin, I'm Marcos Villegas, wishing you a safe and happy Friday night.